Let's get busy.
It's amazing the technology, because just think about communication. 100 years ago, you would not know what happened 100 miles. You would not know what happened 20 miles from your home for a month, 2 months.
True.
You know, I mean, it is.
Yeah,
that-
you bring up a whole different topic that I would love to throw at you too. But let's do this and let's do it
Let's
right.
do whatever you're doing.
Yeah, let's do it. We are recording and shooting from the lip 3:52, Tuesday, September 11, 2018. We're here for our on-site recording at Baxter's 942 in the Highlands. Kevin Hale is here, your host, moi. Joining me for this first segment, Mr. Jason Mudd. Jason has been a frequent flyer on this show, and we appreciate it. He always has, it's one of those MiCasaEsSuCasa.
I love that. I love that. You know, it's like family. It's like family.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, working at 965 Baxter Avenue, which is, you know, he had a nice long trek across the street to get over here.
Across the street.
Yes, Louisville. He is the CEO. He is the man who runs the show for all. I mean, you've basically the word yes here in town. It's you.
I'm really. I tripped and fell into this gratefully. I'm so grateful. You are the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And I am grateful that I surrounded myself with some people that inspired me to do some stuff. And so this Yes brand has gone from a t-shirt company to a positive online community, which we haven't even launched that officially. October 12th.
Okay.
I'm going to tease that right now.
Wow.
We're going to have a really cool blowout party at the new space. So yes is just about making your life better. You know, life is better when you say yes. You know, when you're open to things, when you're open to new ideas and thoughts and stuff, and that's what led us to Yes Working. So yeah, no, it's all good.
Very good. You know, just before we get into a lot of yes talk and Jason Mudd talk, I would be remiss not to bring up what today is. It's 9/11 for us here in the U.S. It's a very meaningful day. It's a day we remember 17 years ago, the tragedy that happened in New York City. Real quick, right? September 11, 2001, where were you?
We did a thing at our office where we went around and asked everybody this morning. It was really neat. I was in college, freshman in college at U of L. I was living in my parents' basement. Think about how that sounds.
Yeah. And there he is. There's the basement look right there, guys.
And I watched this on TV, and I thought that it was fake. And I remember getting in the shower and not paying any attention because it's not real. This is just a movie thing. And then turned on the radio in the car on the way to school, and then hearing it is when it hit me. Man, It was crazy.
Yeah, I remember that morning. I was working at Papa John's corporate office. Everything went down. We had TVs, and we're watching it all play out. And I have to admit, it was surreal. I'm watching it too, and I'm thinking the same thing as you. Is this really happening?
Yeah, because it's so crazy.
Yeah.
This could not be happening.
Not to us.
No.
We're the badass, country on the planet, and we're supposed to be able to protect ourselves from this kind of thing. But what really, when it hit home for me, was later that night. So 2001. My son was 4 years old at that time. We're eating. Actually, I was eating Papa John's pizza because I remember just ordering because it was easy. It was easy that particular night, and we're all gathered around the TV. And my son, Mason, at 4 years old, went up to his mom, held her, and started crying. He was scared. That's when it hit me. That's when it became real. When you see the fear of your child. It hurt. I mean, that was devastating. That's when that's when it was a game changer. That whole day was a game changer for us. And I'd like to think that as a country we've recovered and have done we have the processes in place to keep that from happening. But
it's crazy. I like to look at the positive side of everything, and to look at you never know where we would be with values and everything like that. But I think that people pay attention more to maybe the empathetic side, maybe the EQ, the emotional intelligence side, I think has been lifted up since then. Maybe it would have happened anyway. I don't know. Maybe it fast-tracked some of that stuff. I don't know. But I think every generation has something like this. My parents would talk about World War II or World War I, Vietnam, all that, Korean, whatever.
Right.
So this is our generation for this.
That's an interesting way to put it. I didn't think of it.
Also think about too, and because we had a funeral this past weekend. When you leave a funeral, you're always so invigorated. I say me. This is my personal experience. I am invigorated with life. I want to go out and live life because it's that memento mori.
Right.
Exactly. Memento mori. Yeah. So just thinking about stuff. It's not a bad thing.
No.
And reflecting on that is a good thing to do.
Yeah. It's also a subtle reminder that maybe that idea or that thing that I had in mind, a month or two or a year down the road, maybe we want to rethink that and try to make things happen.
Make things happen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We all have the power to do so much in this life.
Right.
We can make anything happen. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. All right, let's talk about you. From the last time we talked, you had not moved into your new soiree, your new digs here across the street. We're at 942 Baxter Avenue. Jason, with his Yes Working, is at 965. So it's literally a diagonal across the street, a little bit, yeah. So tell me how that all happened.
Man, it has come about. It's almost as if the space found us.
Oh.
Is how it happened. Really cool historical building. 1892 is when this is actually two buildings. 965 and 963 are combined into one parcel. The previous owners did that. So we're just using the 965 space. 1892 is when this was built. It's on the historic preservation whatever list. But we came in there and we wanted to make a collaborative work environment, a place where people can come, kind of like a coffee shop. There's a lot of creatives here in Louisville specifically, a lot of freelancers. That's why we have so many coffee shops. Yeah. But, a coffee shop can't give you everything you need. I love to work out of a coffee shop. I'm not knocking the coffee shop at all. But we wanted more. Right. And so we worked out of a co-working space in Nulu called Story, which I love. Natalia Bishop over there has a wonderful, wonderful space. But again, this came about and it was just right time, right place, right people. That's how things work. And we have a front yard on Baxter Avenue. How neat is that?
Front yard, which means you have to mow the grass, right?
I get to mow the grass. I get to mow the grass. I love to cut grass. And that little yard, it's just so neat.
You do all the maintenance too at your place, right?
I do. In fact, I do.
He's the gardener as well.
It's just so we want to have a space where if you want to work out, if you work out of your home, that's not super productive for a lot of people. You can come. It's a little less formal than an office,
right.
But you can come rent space. We have coffee, we have refreshments, snacks, fruit. We're wanting to be partnered with some local fruit markets, farmers markets. We're just going to have a great community space.
One thing I've noticed with you, you're always networking. You're at these events. I mean, you're making things happen for you. I mean, what's is there an end game? What's some of your goals right now? Besides, taking over Louisville and eventually, owning this podcast.
It's not about owning anything. It's not about owning anything. I truly believe that life is about relationships. The more and better relationships that you can have, the better life is for everybody. And what is this? The rising tides raise all ships sort of a thing? We can all lift each other up. There is a woman in town. She is kind of a motivational speaker, business coach, Chelsea Ellis. She said this a couple of months ago. Yeah. Chelsea's really cool. Yeah. She said collaboration is the new competition. And so in previous generations where you had competition, that would spark innovation. Right. I think collaboration is really where it's at.
But that doing that though, how much honestly, this is not the case for me, but when you're trying to network with some people and to collaborate, you got egos, and you got people who, have to somehow try to find a way to put their humility in check.
You know what? You've got that with everybody. Yeah. I think when you have somebody that works for themselves, when you're a freelancer, when you're a graphic designer, when you're an artist, I think a lot of that stuff, when you have to hustle your way to get stuff, you appreciate when people help you. Right. And so what I find is a lot of people are more willing to help than they are not. Yeah. And those are the people that we want. We don't want the people that are not going to be open to sharing information and open to, we don't want those. Right. Don't come and work at our space. Right. You won't have fun because we want to be a place where you can ask somebody for advice. You may be able to find somebody that has a little accessory widget to your widget that works out of our space, and you guys can combine, and you all might build an empire because you never know where that's going to come. But you know what? If you don't get out and do it, right, I guarantee you it ain't going to come. It's not going to happen.
You're still doing your podcast series too, right?
We do a podcast, yeah. The Leader series. We're going to be opening up. Again, we've had so many irons in the fire. Right. We've been having to pare it down actually to actually make stuff happen, and that's a great thing. Going back to the people, we have a team of awesome people that I'm so grateful that I haven't had to look for anybody. These have people that they've appeared,
found you,
and they found me, and we've got awesome operations and events. Tanya Hahn, Lori Mangum, Charles Wilkerson, Rose Crombie, J.C. Phelps. We've just got some awesome people in our corner, and we couldn't do anything without that. So it's that collaboration, right, which makes everything else work better. But yeah, we're doing the podcast. We're going to be getting into a little bit more video series, and we want to network with the other. There are several very, very good media outlets here in Louisville that are doing like little niche areas, and so I think that we can network some of that stuff and get it all together, and then dude that you're going to be chatting with after me has got a really neat thing that I think we may be able to tie this thing in another level.
That's how it works.
Who knows?
That's how it works.
Again, collaboration. That's how it works. We can all. I can do something great. You can do something great. But man, when we come together, we can do something that is so much better than either you or me. And then you also, if you look at a lot of businesses in the past that have been singular, you have a lot of people that are really bad people because they don't have that accountability. When you're doing things for yourself and you're out there, man, you're doing it for yourself, and that's not the right reason. So when you do collaborate, it breeds better business. I think.
Oh yeah, and this is I don't know if I've ever referenced Vanilla Ice on the show, but
Ice.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice. To quote Vanilla Ice, stop, collaborate,
and listen.
And there you go.
That's right. Listen. 2 ears, 1 mouth. What's that about?
When you were telling me when you leave from here, I mean, going back to today being 9/11, you're doing something very cool.
We have, one of the contributors for YesLouisville.com, Marissa Colclazier, she does a series called The Flying Mom. She's a pilot,
she's been on
commercial
the show,
airline pilot.
yeah. She's badass.
She is so cool. She's a single mom. She's got 3 kids. Her kids actually started this. You were talking about when you were telling your kids about, or your kids found out about 9/11, and that really brought it home. When she asked her kids about what 9/11 was, and they didn't know what it was 2 years ago. You know, the schools weren't teaching them, and I think their kids. I think the oldest might have been 5 at that point.
Right, yeah.
The kid came out and said, you know, let's go down and do something at our bridge. You know, it was so neat. These kids took ownership of the Big 4 Bridge here in Louisville because it's the city's bridge. It's the people's bridge. It's our bridge. And so they went down that night, and this is very random, but this Marissa likes glow sticks, so they had like a couple hundred glow sticks just on hand at their house randomly that night. So they went down there and passed out a couple hundred glow sticks, and then people started tweeting that like a glow stick got on a plane and went to North Carolina or wherever. And so like somehow somebody found out about this, and like there was a couple people that stopped they were going to the airport. They stopped on the way at the bridge to get a glow stick just so that they could talk about this going somewhere.
Wow.
So it's that conversation that starts because of it. So this is super informal. I was texting with Marissa last night, and she's telling me about this. And I'm like, man, this is so cool. Let's see how many people we can get out there. So we've got a couple thousand glow sticks. I don't know the souls that were lost on 9/11. It's like $26.99, $29.66, something like that.
It's up there, yeah.
We've got 3,000 glow sticks is what we've got tonight, and here in just a few minutes we're going to be heading down to the Big 4 Bridge to
That's so cool.
just pass them out, and anybody that's it's
Take
really
lots
cool.
of pictures and videos. That's
Because
definitely
again, it's about people, relationships, community, and we are all the same. Every single one of us, we are all the same. We have the same needs, wants, desires, whatever. It's messed up. Yeah, we're all a mess. We are all a mess in this life, and it's all good, and it's okay. Yeah.
Your shirt, I'm looking at it. Ride, play, give, run, sleep, work, love better. Sleep, work, love better. Elaborate.
This is, and again, talking about making stuff, we're really off the cuff. Another really cool project. We're going to be having some neat maker stuff. So I just whipped this up really quick, but it's a shirt. I wanted to call it work better. But everything is better with yes. That's the thing that I want to, and it's about content, it's about everything. But when you say yes, when you're open to ideas, when you're open to thoughts and experiences, because that's what life is about, is experiences and relationships. When you say yes, it's better. Yeah. And that's not flippant. That's not being irresponsible with that, but it's just being open. Right. It's not being closed off and just I don't like that. How many people say I don't like that and they've never done it?
Yeah, I mean, yes to me is the ultimate. If someone utters the word yes to me, that's someone who is open-minded. I mean, yes is an open-minded approach to things.
I just the whole philosophy. I've been through a bunch of stuff in my life, and I have, life is, it's not money, it's not stuff, it's not things. You can, I don't know, there's a lot of great stuff in this world. There are a lot of great people, and when you can connect them and network them and just interact with them, everybody lives a more fulfilled life.
You really are who you surround yourself with.
You are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around with.
And that's a good number.
When my mom used to say, "Oh, don't hang out with that boy. That boy's bad. You don't want to hang out with him." I used to say, "No, that it doesn't matter. You're not that strong.
Yeah.
You are not that strong. You will pick up on the bad habits of your bad friends."
Right.
And we've all got some baby kid friends. We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all done that. We've all been idiots. Who has not been an idiot in their life?
That's a whole new topic.
Except you.
Yeah.
Kevin, you've never been an idiot.
No, I've owned it.
No, I guarantee
I've owned
you've
it.
never.
But sometimes I've done it on purpose.
See, I've owned it. I own it too.
I'm about a reaction.
I've been a big idiot. I try to not be an idiot anymore. I do my best.
Yeah, that's when my kids nudge me. Dad, stop. Dad, you're embarrassed.
I love it when I get my daughter a little bit uncomfortable in place. And I'm like, no, Carter, it's cool. It's all
cool.
good.
It is all good. social media, share with everyone.
Oh man, I would appreciate it. Follows at Yes Louisville for everything. We've got a daily events list that we come out with about 10 a.m. every day. Top 7 things going on in the city that we think is really cool. It's called the Yes List, daily Yes List. Yeah. You can actually go to yeslist.fyi, and it'll bookmark it and go to the same place every day.
You have just cornered. Other than the band, yes, everything else is you, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Just say yes.
Yeah,
that's all. But check out Yes Working too. At Yes Working, we're at 965baxter.com, and just right across the street from where we're recording. Stop by anytime. We've got some awesome space, and we've got Yes Yoga's coming up. JC Phelps is going to be teaching a charcuterie class. I can't say that word. Meats on a plate.
Oh, really?
Thing. Yeah. It's going to be really cool.
Okay.
We've got some neat stuff coming up.
All right.
Yeah.
You are open-minded to everything, right?
It's all good.
Just say yes.
It's all good.
Very good. Jason Mudd, again, the CEO, founder of Yes Working, Yes Louisville. He is 502 Leader Series podcast. My man, Jason, thanks for hanging out with me.
It's all good, man. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it. Anytime.
All right.
Let's get busy.
Hi guys, Kevin Hale here, shooting from the Lip 352. It's Tuesday night, September 11th, 2018. Our on-site recording at Baxter's 942 here in the Highlands. Doing it with my new buddies, Pai Charasika.
That's correct. That's correct.
And Ray Tri. They are with the Socialite app.
The Socialite app.
I know.
A lot of socialites out there.
I know. And the social media thing is, is just, if you can find a way to dive into it,
Yeah. Well, that's part of what pushed us on a little bit, really, was that, people are so pulled into social media right now, but a lot of people don't want to be. I mean, the anecdote we always use is, nobody waits for the weekend to go scroll down their, news feed or something.
Right.
I mean, no one's, really excited about that. So the best time that you're going to have is going to be going out and doing something. So instead of trying to create another social media platform and recreate, some aspect of social life online, decided to kind of flip that on its head and say, well, look, let's use technology to help people when they actually go out, make that better. So let's use technology to make real life better instead of trying to kind of.
Before we go further, I touched on today, September 11th, 17 years ago, the U.S. Had a serious tragedy, changed many lives. It's changed the way a lot of people think and go about their lives. I'm curious, guys, each of you, tell me, where were you that morning, and how did that have any impact on your life?
Yeah, for me, I was actually on my way to work. I was probably a couple years out of college at that point. 2001, I graduated in 98, so 3-4 years out of college, on my way to work, got to work, and they already had the TVs on, kind of talking through it over the news, and I remember looking at that and thinking it was just so surreal. I really couldn't, it didn't register with me yet. And it took a while before it did. And the impact it had on so many people. I went to Wake Forest University in North Carolina, and quite a few of my friends come down from the East Coast. So I had a bunch of buddies that were from the DC area, Connecticut area, New York area, a lot of which had gone to work in New York. And so I was freaked out, tried to call everybody I could. And obviously the lines were just all busy signals, so you couldn't get through to anybody. So, you know, I was lucky enough that I didn't directly have any friends or anyone that was killed in the tragedy, but certainly I had friends that had relatives and the like that were impacted. So for me, that's something that I won't ever forget. Certainly makes me think about how vulnerable we actually are in some of those situations. And every year, you know, I think about that, you know, in terms of where we are as a country and you know, what we're trying to do to kind of better humanity, really, not just, you know, those people right here at home. So anyway, that's my thought.
Yeah, Ray.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. I was actually, this will date me, but I was in 4th grade. I remember sitting there, it was in our social studies period. But I, you know, like I said, you know, I remember they pulled it up on, you know, on the news after the first tower was hit. And just everybody was watching it. You know, like I said, it didn't really register with me until I kind of got home that night and talked to my parents about it because I was, you know, pretty young.
Right.
But I mean, even then, you know, even that young, it's still, absolutely. I mean, it's, you know, it's a memory. I know exactly where I was. I'd probably go to that classroom and show you the seat that I was pointing in. I mean, I know it's just, it was one of those events that, I mean, it stays with you. I mean, everybody I know my mom and talked with her. She was actually getting her oil changed in a mechanic, and you know, everybody remembers where they were. It was just it was a terrible event.
All right. Let's move on to.
As you can see, there's a significant age gap between me.
A little bit,
and me,
a little
too,
bit, yeah.
4th grade, which would have made you what, about 9 or
8?
8.
I skipped 1st grade, so
okay. Yeah. Well, I was working in corporate America then.
I was already fully in. I was already in.
Yeah.
All right. The Socialite app. I'm looking at this is I'm on the Facebook page. Like-minded people in venues they choose enhance the community through innovative social experience. Take it from there.
So, I mean, we tell the story a lot, but the way this thing first started is I had kind of pivoted through a couple different companies that I was, or I should say brands, companies that I was trying to work with to try and find the best product. And ultimately, one of my goals is always to bring people together. I like hanging out quite a bit, and one of my favorite places to do that with is with people that are similar to myself. And it's always become more or increasingly more difficult for me to find that as I got older.
Good-looking people.
Right. All good-looking dudes just like myself, right? And so the story I tell all the time is when I got divorced, you know, I was that guy at the bar that was hanging out who's now 40 years old that's getting laughed at, like, oh my God, that's the creepy old guy. And I never was that guy. I was the 25-year-old laughing at the 40-year-old guy. And all of a sudden, I was a fish out of water. And so
you laughed at me then, right? That was you.
I was laughing at you. But that all comes back full circle, right? So ultimately, you know, so there's got to be a way for us to look at, you know, bringing people together in one way or another. And kind of serendipitously, I met Ray, you know, as I was working through this project. He was actually building a brand himself, and we had discussed the opportunity to work together on the project. And I said, hey, you know, what would happen if we built, you know, a mobile app that essentially brought like-minded people together? He loved that idea, and we took off from there and just say, hey, look, we're going to try and make this thing happen, and we'll spend a bunch of nights talking through it, and we'll send about 1,000 texts to each other, and we'll just see what works. And we went with our guts and kind of rolled into customer discovery from there, and there you go. You get that.
When did this idea first come in?
About 18 months ago, I think.
Really?
Right now.
Okay,
We've been in pretty hardcore development for. I mean, there's been a lot of hours in there.
Yeah.
So it's been, and I'm the solo developer, so it's there's been a lot of stuff to do.
Okay, that's you.
So, on top of,
I told you he's the
job and
architect.
bills and everything, man. I mean, it's, so it's pretty much just been as fast as I could get stuff rolled out. But we are doing some pretty exciting things. I mean, we're on cutting edge of a few fields. So.
I think so, because I'm pulling up I'm using the app. You come up with your the questions, your own algorithms just to come up with,
Personality traits.
personality
It's almost like you
traits.
go on a first date with an AI kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your computer.
Right.
Hey, but
Nothing will come of it, but hey,
Right.
not
it needs to
yet.
get to know you.
In 10 years
don't
from
know
now,
how it's gonna
let's see
play
how
out.
that plays out.
Right.
In 10
We
years.
might have a whole different product by then.
Hey, got to pivot, man.
Yeah, there'll be a hand coming out of the app.
Right.
So then you go the app route, and you have this concept where your questions and personalities again.
Well, so the biggest thing there was, how do you bring like-minded people together? And conceptually, it made sense to start considering ways to do that. So our first thought process was looking at Myers-Briggs and things like this that would study people's personalities and then see how they all complement each other. But trying to put that into an app was just too difficult.
And you ruled out Christian Mingle. Right?
Yeah, we ruled that out. And so, basically what we thought was, well, look, let's have a series of personality questions that we think could at least give us some base denominators about people that would then allow us to then place them in, ideal venues where there's other people similar to themselves. So we started with, 100 some odd questions asking people and then brought that down to, about, I don't know, how many we have on there right now?
We have about 65, something
Something like that.
So.
If you care to answer all of them. Now, you don't have to go through all of them. Certainly, the more questions you answer, the more ideal the situation is, and we'll be able to give you better results, is where we're at with that. But we just thought, well, look, here's one thing that we don't see people doing. Usually what happens is you say, okay, well, all these kind of people go to Baxter's 942. Well, what if I want to go to 942, but I don't know anything about it, or you don't really know my personality? We needed a way to figure out exactly what people inherently liked or that were similar to each other that we could look at and use it as the basis for giving a recommendation.
All right.
And so that's how the personality attributes came to be.
So you're giving the recommendations on venues, locations, but you're not recommending people.
No, not in any way.
That would have been. I'm thinking, that
We could call it a dating app all the time.
Oh, yeah, it would be a dating app.
I guess
And we don't-
technically, that's how it would.
But we answer that a lot.
That's part of the reason we moved away from the whole Myers-Briggs concept was because that really only works if you are interacting with other people.
That's true.
So we actually were using Socialite at that point. But then we went to an AI concept and just said, well, hey, there's going to be underlying, let's say we both like baseball, right? Maybe we're both competitive, or there's going to be something about our personalities that both, who we are that make both of us like baseball. So we applied the same concept to venues, restaurants, music halls, anywhere that you can go and do something. We said, well, hey, all of a sudden, if you have a lot of people with these personality traits that really enjoy this place, other people with similar personality, whatever makes those personalities like this place, we're not really sure, but they do. So now we can start making those.
So there's a likelihood that those other people will enjoy that venue as well. So
I know some of the questions that I looked at or saw, sexuality was one that stood out.
It is.
Well, think about this. I mean, so, Louisville has a pretty significant gay community. Very diverse community, and that's great. But let's say that you're going to a new town where you don't know where some of those concentrations of people are. You're more comfortable in that environment. If you don't have access to that, or some concierge type service that can say, hey, go here, we certainly wanted to make sure we accounted for something like that. Diversity is kind of an important component to this thing.
Absolutely.
So certainly there are questions about sexuality and things that we thought would be, again, just themes, that you would be interested in finding. Do you want to go to a gay bar
That's
tonight?
probably the most intrusive question.
Yeah, that is the,
But I think it's an important question.
That's what we thought too, And again,
Which is why we left.
and I'll reiterate, everybody's answers are always confidential. I mean, nobody's going to see what you answer, what you don't answer. I mean, you could be, still in the closet or something and answer on that, and nobody will ever see it. I mean,
Though because it was one of the first questions that came up, and I was like, damn, they're already going there. I
gotta go all in.
I thought
You gotta go all in.
When I realized this was a questionnaire, I'm thinking that's got something like that would have to be asked.
Yeah.
And to your credit, you did it. So yeah, that's a good thing. Elaborate more. I mean, this rolled out
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday.
How'd it go?
It went pretty good. Had one small glitch, but got that fixed in 30 minutes. I mean, hey, it wouldn't be a launch party if you didn't have something go down for a little bit, right?
Were you walking around with your laptop?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was in the corner with the laptop.
Really?
Yes.
It's
Oh yeah.
actually not a joke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No joke. I went and pulled out the laptop and got it up.
Respect.
Yeah. But like I said, got it back up in 30 minutes, so we're good there. Fixed it since then. So, but I mean, yeah, since then it's just been, like I said, it was never. Building the app is not the easy part. There is a ton more work afterwards. I mean, keeping it up, maintaining it, because now you've got two versions. You got your development and production. You've got so much stuff to do. But no, it's a pretty good party though.
The last 18 months, I mean, aside from development, it's just been a ton of customer discovery, because as much as Ray and I can go into what we feel is appropriate intuitively, and just kind of go with our guts, the market might tell us differently. So going out and having conversations, incessantly with anybody and everybody about their thoughts about it, what works, what things don't work, how do you make decisions about going out? Right. Like literally we were trying to figure out who our competition was, and we're like, well, actually, our primary competition is probably your friends. Your friends. Like, if you're going to go out on a given night, well, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to probably call your friends and say, hey, where are you going to go out tonight? Right. So from there, it kind of goes down the line to, Facebook. You probably look at Facebook events, and then down into like a Yelp, or just Googling events around me. Right. So trying to evaluate who the actual competitors were for us, and trying to look at some competitive advantages that we could add to the product. That we didn't think they had was extremely important. So we looked and evaluated all that stuff. We looked and evaluated who our target markets were. We initially thought target market was probably going to be a little younger. And we were wrong. They don't have any money.
And nobody cares about your personality when there's dollar bills.
No, it don't matter. Like, we're going to Granville regardless.
That's when my kid goes, Dad, I just got off this app, and this is the place I need to be. Can I have some money?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So we had initially thought that the target market was going to be, University of Louisville, because it's still somewhat transient, and you got freshmen and sophomores coming in that, hey, we want to get out and go different places, and then kind of find out they don't really move very far away from that sphere of the campus. Right. So ultimately, you go up a little bit. You start looking at 25 to 34-year-olds. They're still in the game. They got some money in their pocket now. They're looking to step out on town. They want to do something new and exciting.
Recent grads was a lot more aligned with, and that's kind of where I fit in. So
yeah, and so and that's a neat thing about he and I. One of the reasons we thought this could have so much potential is that, there's almost 20 years difference between us. We're both going through.
He's reminded us.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, but the neat thing about that is, even in the course of Ray's life, he's going through transition where he's left college, and now if he wants to get out, even if he's introverted or otherwise, he's still going to go through the same issue. Well, how do I go out and find people that are similar to myself? Do we all have to go to Tin Roof? Maybe I don't want to go to Tin Roof. Right. Do we all go to Jimmy Can Dance? I don't know. Is he maybe he's more mature and likes Jimmy Can?
And I will say that's something that I've noticed too with more so with my generation, is because we've always grown up on social media. I mean, it's been since MySpace came out, it's been just always social media. And now we're finally kind of getting to the point.
Old enough to use MySpace?
Yeah. I remember dial-up. Come on, man. You had dial-up. But so, like I said, my whole generation has really grown up on social media, and there's not been nearly as much of the emphasis on just going out and doing things. Yeah. And a lot of the people in the age group kind of, there's always kind of your influencers, person who's saying, hey, we're all going to go here tonight, or that kind of stuff.
Right.
And that's kind of remains
the younger group. Now, someone like me, older, I'm single. I've been divorced for 11 years. Yeah. But, been in related. But anyways, I'm the type of person that this app would be great for me, because I'm quite capable. I always go places by myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I generally know people
Yep.
there. But I always but I can go anywhere. I feel like I can go anywhere and socialize,
Have a good time.
Yeah.
have a good time, and not get kicked out or
Yeah,
not
right,
offend.
yeah.
But just. So, anyways, but I'm digging the app.
Yeah.
No, well, thank you.
Yeah,
So that was also, like I said, so him being in that generation and then me kind of growing up around similar time as yourself. I mean, like I said, feeling kind of like a fish out of water. I still had plenty of friends in Louisville, but they weren't going out as much. Everybody's got kids, everybody's got jobs, everybody
changes things.
Yeah, it changed things a lot. So the volume of people and our the frequency even in times we can go out and hang out is just so much more limited. So me twiddling my thumbs, like, how am I going to find people? So the important concept here to keep in mind is it's not just bar driven. We felt like we would start with bars and things like that and say, hey, here, we're going to recommend these venues. Frankly, it's a low hanging fruit, right? For us to be able to walk into a place and say, hey, let's post up some things about Socialite. Because that's where the majority of people who are being social will go and they'll flock. But certainly there's considerations, as Ray was just talking about, for restaurants, for art galleries, for coffee shops.
We even look at churches.
We've
stuff
looked
like
at
that down the
churches,
road.
but there's so many churches in Louisville.
Oh, there
like
are
it
a
was
lot.
a whole. It took up the whole.
There are a lot.
You really went there?
So
Tried to go there?
Everywhere.
No,
Well,
man,
that's
every single. I mean, think about this. Think about if you're an alcoholic and you don't want to go out, and you're looking for people that are similar to yourself, but you don't want alcohol to be the primary attribute
that
that's
one of the
involved.
questions?
Not yet. That's gonna be coming.
I think that's huge.
But think about that.
Yeah.
Think about how many people are in that, but struggle to find something to do.
All those little niches that everyone's so unique. That's the really amazing thing about using
that's
AI
a damn
here.
good point because honestly, I wouldn't.
Think about
I
that.
don't think about.
Where do you go on Super Bowl if
If you
Yeah.
don't
you
drink,
can't drink,
Yeah.
right?
if you can't drink, if you don't drink, if you want to hang out with people who don't drink, like how are you gonna? So this thing should technically start picking up on some of those things if we add the right variables, the right questions, and then start recommending it that way. So we wanted to look at all that stuff. So we talked about diversity earlier. Providing a diverse platform for people like that was something that was important to us. Just based on our own life experiences. And so that's where we thought, oh man, I think this can scale pretty nicely if we set it up the right way. If we get the design right, if we get the development right, we could actually have something here.
I'll say it's a blessing and a curse though too, is because nobody wants to. You're doing all your business stuff. Nobody, when you say who's your target audience, they say, well, everybody can use it. Nobody wants that answer.
Right.
So
Well, so technically right now, I'd tell you our target audience is 25 to 34-year-olds that typically like to go out and have a good time. Now, again, that's the low-hanging fruit. We just feel like that's the majority of people who are going out.
I'm gonna challenge you on
nature.
that because someone at my age, who's single, and I know of a lot of single friends around my age.
Stepping out again? Fair enough.
Yeah. And
I mean,
and they spend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, we're not limiting anyone.
No,
I want
get
everybody and
that,
their
right.
mother to be on this thing.
Right.
All right,
but
Mom, we'll
that's,
hook you up.
yeah, that's a weird saying, but I say it all the time. But yeah, so obviously, we want it to be compelling to as many people as possible, and I think we've tried to make it intuitive as possible so that it's pretty easy to use for anyone. All these guys, we talk to them when we go to like venture connectors and some of these meetings, and they're all selling the length of time that they want to stay on. Well, you stay on our app for 5 minutes, and they're excited about that. Like, and our whole goal is to go against that altogether.
Opposite that, we don't want you to spend 30 minutes on the app.
No.
We want you to go in, pull it up, look through 5 places.
Right. Done.
We even have a button after you find a place you like that it'll drop it right into an Uber, Lyft, or an Apple map, and you
got
go.
that covered too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's important.
So I mean, we want 5 minutes or less. Just go.
I would. That would make sense. I would think the longer someone is navigating through that app, that would probably tell me that
the worse the AI is working, right?
Yeah,
It's not
or
recommending something.
Yeah,
right.
they're not finding. They're not connecting.
Well, and this is kind of this point of augmenting the social experience is kind of one of these coin phrases that he and I like to use. because you see all these people just, I mean, my biggest pet peeve is going out to dinner or a bar when we're having these conversations and people are just scrolling through their phones while they're looking at you, like they're not even looking at you anymore.
Right.
And so our concept was, well, in theory, if we
Sorry, Pai, what did you just say?
Right. Yeah.
right, just like that. Like in theory, you know, if we can put you in the right place, hopefully we can keep you off your phone enough to create a realistic version of what that Facebook page might look like, right? So you'll have more of that community or Facebook fam, you know, right here in front of you. Now, it's not intrusive. So everyone's anonymous, right? You're not going to go up there and it's never going to say, you know, Pai Charasika's at, you know, Baxter's 942.
There's not that. I didn't know because I didn't see it, but there's not this check-in thing that you put on.
No, so we've got so we do check-ins, but we never share that you checked in.
Gotcha.
So it's all anonymized.
Right, but
it's all
for
aggregated.
Right.
So if we're doing, you know, so one of the
content,
so one of the metrics we give is, you know, average age range of people there. So we, you know, so if you check in, we'll factor in someone's age, but then we just add that to the average. So it's so no one's ever going to see, oh, hey, this person is here. No one is. We've actually done We've tried really hard to make user privacy a really important thing to us.
I think this is huge. Like for me, if I see a venue and I'm getting ready to walk in, and right before I walk in, it tells me this is like 25 and under group. And then, you know, before I get,
we can tell you that before you leave the house.
I mean, that's
But no, I'm saying I'm out somewhere. I'm just,
Right.
And then before I open that door and get the look like, you old man, what are you doing? You know, I can do it.
10 roof at 1 a.m.
Yeah, 1 a.m. All the kids are there. Yeah,
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
4th Street.
No, but so that's exactly right. So we actually provide profile information of the people, the averages that are at the venue. So it'll tell you the average age, the amount of people that have been there, you know, who's single and who's taken, right? Of that number of people, how many are actually taken or coupled up? How many are single?
If you're a single person, I mean, you might not want to hang out with all the couples. If you're in a couple, you might not want to go where all the single people are.
Male to female ratio, we talk about that.
Okay.
And so those are the baselines we've got. So you can pull that up. If we've given you a recommendation, you can pull it up and you can see before you even leave the house. Right? You know, all right, there's a nice group of girls there. Let's go. Right? It might be worth our time, or vice versa, whatever works for you.
You mentioned Tin Roof. I was there not too long ago.
Yeah.
Watching some friends play music. It was early, like from 8 till 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or about 1. And my daughter's with me, and her friends are watching all this. But as they ended, it's about 1 o'clock. You know, my daughter leans over to me and is like, "You probably want to leave. you probably want to walk across."
I mentioned that bar because it's the biggest transition bar.
God.
You can go and watch like a UK football game there, and the average age be like 35 to 45.
And all of a sudden,
and then the wave.
Oh yeah.
That's why I bring that one up, because it just totally flip flops when you're there at like 11:30 to 12:30,
Exactly.
and that crowd turns from like that mature group or like older group to basically all college kids.
Yeah, I'm like, well, what if I want to watch chicks get on the bar and dance?
I guess that's stay late enough.
If that's what other people who got your personality type, I mean, that's what that's places they like, and that's what I recommend.
So we've had some interesting conversations about the artificial intelligence, kind of how that works and the way it learns. So it's always interesting to consider. We talked with this attorney once who was telling us about. I said, "Well, tell us. I want you to hit us with every single possible liability we could, need to consider."
Definitely.
And he goes, "Well, have you thought about this one?" He goes, "If you got a bunch of underage drinkers, and they start going to a particular place, your AI will start learning that the people that are underage is where it should recommend them to go.
It'll pick up ages factor and say, "Oh, look,
recommending that all the people who are under 21 go to XYZ bar," and it'll start pushing people that way. Like,
you fixed that, right?
So we fixed that, and right now, because there are so many bars on there, we do strongly discourage use of it. But obviously,
you bring up a good point. How many disclaimers you have to put on there?
We can't control where you go.
Right.
But do you have to say it's a 21 and over venue, or do you go that extreme?
So we're working on building out our database of places a little bit more.
Because I'm sure that's...
So the more information, we let users put in, if you want to help us out, that's fantastic. Go somewhere. So you can go somewhere and say, hey, you can, drink coffee here. You can, go bowling here. All kinds of different activities you can do. And that really helps us out because we have had to build out our own database of places. We haven't been able to work with anybody on that yet, which is blessing and a curse, but hey.
You do have the app, but I'm also on your website, the socialiteapp.com. What's different about the website versus the app, or is it?
We don't have a website version. That's just the landing page.
Just the landing page.
It sends you to the app stores.
It does.
So,
right, cool. One thing, with this show, what I really enjoy doing is that whole networking thing. And right before you came on, Jason, who is really involved with a lot of the Louisville scene, his Yes Louisville thing. You all got to do a little quick meet and greet. To me, that's what it's about. And I'm doing my part to gather people around, because when I heard about this concept, I'm like, it sounds like another kind of social type. But then when I started looking at how deep it was going, I'm like, dude, these guys are onto something. So it's good stuff.
Obviously for us, being able to partner or work with venues, restaurants, things like that is going to be extremely imperative. The more people that we have using the app, it optimizes our ability to give you recommendations. So we call it user density. So if I've got 10,000 people across America using it, it's not going to be nearly as effective as it would be if we've got 500 people in the Highlands using it that are looking for the right place to go. So being able to start developing some of these relationships with venues like this that would be interested in helping us promote what we're doing is huge. And our thought process is to go where the demand is. So you can imagine kind of the 5 boroughs of Louisville. You'll do Frankfurt Avenue, you look at the Highlands, we'll look at New Lou, we'll look at Bardstown Road, or I guess that's really the Highlands, St. Matthews rather, sorry. And a little trickle out there going towards Middletown these days with Blind Squirrel, Double Dog, stuff like that.
And the goat. Just the goat on the other side of but the Blind Squirrel, they also have the volleyball going on over there.
So, now imagine that. Like, imagine if you want to be more athletic about what you're doing. So we can incorporate bowling or golf or volleyball, whatever. So those are consideration. What if you want to go go-karting? Whatever. So anyway, the idea is for us to kind of try and to saturate those areas initially and just kind of go from there. I also want a pretty big push into the downtown area. I want to make sure that we've got more of the diversity that I talk about, because I think there's a lot of groups that are interested in finding their tribe, so to speak. Is kind of one of our coin phrases too. And if we have the ability to kind of push them that way, maybe they'd experience a venue or a bar that they would never have thought to go. What that thing ends up sending
that'd be the ultimate goal for us. Say you download it and you try it out and it sends you somewhere you would have never gone in a million years, but you love it.
But you love it.
That's proof positive. That's exactly what we want to have.
That's the story you want to hear.
Some dude out in the East End gets sent to Zanzibar. He's like, what is this place? But loves
he loves it.
Right. So that's a good example where not a lot of people know Zanzibar.
But
it's a cool.
But that's funny enough or not, when I got divorced, I spent a lot of time going out. So I was one of those guys who would go out to a lot of different places, and similar to you, I can roll out by myself. I'm gonna run into about 4 or 5 people regardless. So no matter where I go. But so being able to give that experience to other people and make them feel more comfortable when they're in said venue, just makes it a lot more fun, I think. It makes you feel more comfortable. And our thought was like, look, if you're gonna go to this place, you're more comfortable in the place, you're gonna buy more drinks, you're gonna eat more food, you're gonna scream from the mountaintops, this was the coolest place you ever been. It works for everybody. Helps the venue owner because more people like his place. That person had a better time, probably met more people, maybe meets the love of his life, who knows, whatever, and it's all good. So it's all about augmenting social experience.
Absolutely. Now, do you all have a meeting place, like some type of a regular thing where you gather just people to hang out with?
No, we don't.
We haven't.
Not right
I mean,
now.
it's worth talking about for sure. We've had a lot of people ask us about events. If the app has the capability to add events and things like that, I think that's something that we're talking about doing down the road.
That's one of the interesting things about using the whole personality aspect of it is that we can really grow into a whole lot of different avenues. I mean, we're starting out with venues because they're pretty easy, static places to handle, right? Next, we can go into events. Now we can start recommending, okay, judge by RSVP or something like that. We can now start saying, hey, here's a new event that's coming up that's going to be near you. You should go check out. I mean, everything from, networking events to cocktail hours to, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
We're looking at doing stuff with groups, so say, hey, you and 3 other people want to find the best place for all of you.
Right.
That kind of stuff. So there's a lot of expansion there that we can do.
Yep.
Very cool.
Sure. So,
Guys, it's really good stuff, and I'm excited. You know what? I'm going to be in this with you because I want to watch how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
do it, man. We want you in.
Welcome aboard, man.
Absolutely.
I'm strapped in with you guys. I'm excited. I love it. I really do.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, share with us social media. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah,
Of course,
so we're on social media as at the Socialite app on every platform. Check us out at the website, thesocialiteapp.com. We're on Apple and Android, Google Play. It just, you can do the Socialite app or Socialite. Either one will come up. Pretty easy to download. You should be able to get set up in 5 minutes or less and start getting places to go. And if you really want to help us out, you will actually go back on the App Store, give it a 5-star rating because we're that good,
Right.
and share it with your friends.
That's huge.
Share it.
Yeah, it really does help a whole lot more than you all think. And again, like Pai mentioned a minute ago, the more people we get on this, the more people are contributing to the AI, and the better an experience you're going to have. So the more people we can get to share this, kind of like that pay it forward thing, the more people we get on it, the better it is for everybody. So,
Ray Pai, good stuff, man. Thanks so
Absolutely.
much for hanging out with us.
thanks for
Absolutely.
having us.
Thanks for
man.
having
All
us.
It's a lot of fun.
Good luck, man.
Appreciate it.
Let's get busy.
Hey guys, Shooting from the Lip, episode 352. It's Tuesday, September 11, 2018. Our on-site recording at Baxter's 942 in the Highlands. Kevin Hale here with some of my favorites. This is like a guilty pleasure. Steven Clark has been a guilty pleasure for like forever.
I'm Steven Clark. I'm a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm Emmie Beretta.
Yeah.
I think I'm Steven Clark.
Check us out. The Ass Haulers. Steven Clark,
Haulers.
Emmie Beretta,
Haulers.
and the new guy, Cam Stevens.
That's
me.
That is. Welcome, guys. We
Hey.
get to do this like for real.
Yeah. Is this so much better?
I know.
Faco to Faco, like I said before.
know.
All that fucking weird delay stuff and talking
Yeah.
over each other.
F-bomb.
That means face to face, right? That's not like-
That is
Curse
fake
word.
Latin for face to face. Faco to Faco.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't.
nice.
And don't forget Petey back there.
Petey, our man Petey Compton, is in the house,
He's a brisket
snapping.
Yeah.
He's eating
Got a
something
nice
over there.
brisket sandwich.
Emmy's drinking some. What's the wine you're drinking, Emmie?
It's one of the finest Cabernets.
Are
Yeah.
you streaming this or are we recording this?
It's
Yeah.
recording this.
Okay, good. Well, I'm fine with that. So you can edit out stuff.
I prefer to do like a one. Very little.
I'll tell you
editing.
what, you're gonna have to send it through our people.
I'll send it to you and let you.
It'll be redacted.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fine. All right.
Okay, so
Again, but-
what's on your mind?
Well, let's. I want to keep it real for a second.
Okay.
It is September 11th, 2018. 17 years ago. I got to know. where were you all at when it happened, and what was the reaction, thought process at that point? I'll start with Cam.
I was in.
I wasn't born yet.
So it's 2001.
Kicking us last.
So I would have been in.
cradle.
I was like in sixth grade, I think. And then I kind of just they sent us home. And I didn't really know what happened. And then because I was like 10, I didn't really get it. But then I was like probably like 14 or 15. And I was like, oh, that's pretty fucked
Rad.
up.
That's rad.
It's wild.
So you were still in school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was little.
I was in the corporate world at that point. But anyways, Emmie, what about you?
This is going to date me, but I was in chemistry class in high school. My reaction was, it was shocked. My dad actually was stationed at the Pentagon at the time. So,
Really?
Yep. He was at the Pentagon, so when I heard about it, I didn't hear about the Pentagon until later, but I tried getting in touch with him and I couldn't, and it was really scary. And then the bell changed. I almost got in a fight.
Why did you get in a fight?
I almost
Why?
got in a fight.
Why?
No, because
You're fighting.
this chick Amy,
Emmy's fighting.
this chick
Amy's fighting.
Amy was like, it's about time some terrorist shit happened. And I was like,
yeah.
what?
That's what all high
So
school kids
what did
say.
you say? So I started, she ran into a classroom. I started kind of going after her. I was really angry because, dude, my
Dad. I mean,
that's messed up. I can't find my dad,
Yeah, you don't
and-
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my experience.
Yeah.
Scary.
Steven, what?
I'll try to make this really quick. I was at my farmhouse. I got a call, and my buddy said, "Did you see what's fucking going on?" And he told me, and I didn't believe him. I turned on the cable TV, and right when I did, I saw the second plane hit. And my lovely wife was a flight attendant at the time, and that was her route.
Oh,
So
wow.
I couldn't get a hold of her.
No shit.
And
Good God.
all this stuff is happening. So for a couple hours, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And then she gets off of her flight, and she calls me, and she's like, "What the fuck's going on? Why do you keep texting me?" And then all of a sudden, you can hear in the background, ding, 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 ding. Everybody that was getting off the flight, their phones
was just-
started freaking out because everybody was
Yes.
trying to track them down.
Right.
And I said, somebody hit the Twin Towers, we're probably under attack. And she said, bullshit. And then all this stuff just started happening around her. So they grounded everything. And she was, I don't know, South Carolina, I think. And we had to get a car and go to South Carolina. It was the weirdest thing because you would go to a gas station, and you know how they usually play music and stuff?
Right.
No music, nobody speaking. Everything was deathly quiet. And it was just like no planes in the sky, super eerie. And we went to pick her up, and the hotel that she was staying in was called the Twin Towers
Oh.
in South Carolina. And we had to go get her and drive her back because they were grounded and they didn't know when she would be able to fly back. So it was creepy.
Wow.
And that's my 9/11
It
story.
is
Memory.
memory. Game changer for the U.S., of course. Yeah. And I guess when she called, said bullshit, the mentality is that
No
this
way.
would never happen to
No
us.
way.
Yeah.
No way.
And
It was an inside job. Everybody knows that. But
Yeah.
we'll probably get to that later. in
well,
the
I mean,
broadcast.
can we? Since she brought up the Pentagon, does she have any? Can you?
I really feel like we should probably drop this because that's don't
non-disclosure
Yeah.
agreement.
No,
Because there weren't
I'm
any
not
plane
saying I
parts
know
at the Pentagon.
anything, but hey,
Yeah.
No
dude,
plane
come
parts.
on, military brat, watch it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Any plane parts.
Just watch it, dude. Just stop.
All right,
Just
whatever.
Stop.
All right,
Just
so
watch
let's talk about something
So
else.
let's talk some music again. I mentioned the Ass Hollers. One of my guilty pleasures. I've had the pleasure of watching them
You say
several
pleasure a
times. I do, but you pleasure me. Your voice, your music.
I pleasure myself.
I not only am I enjoy watching the girls shake their ass. I find myself
Not me,
shaking.
not
well,
me,
not you,
not
but the
me,
people
not me.
you there. I find myself moving, shaking. I think I am shaking my ass too because of the band.
We like to reduce people to tears or Jello,
Yeah.
whatever we can do.
And I've seen the band do a couple of the burlesque shows, which we're so fucking over the top.
We have another one
was fun.
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
We'll be back with you
Please.
in a couple weeks, I think, over the Weirdos deal.
Oh, yeah, Ricky. Was that?
Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky Little.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we are going to play that, but we're going to be on scaffolds behind the burlesque people the whole time.
Wait a minute.
The entire time.
How high is this?
It's like scaffolds, just like Jailhouse Rock shit.
I have to see this.
And then we're going to be like bongoing.
I have to be there.
And
Oh,
all
that's
kinds of.
gonna
Do you have to
be-
pee?
I have to be there.
Oh.
I
So
wonder if I
yeah.
should talk. I think that might be a place where I do a segment. Do
That'd
a
be fun.
podcast, Yeah.
That'd be fun. But yeah, we'll do 2 songs on our own, and maybe somebody will shake their ass to it. But in between, when the MC does their stuff, we'll bongo it up and bang on some cans,
Ooh,
and make noise and
bongos.
do like a Tom Waitsy kind of deal.
So it's not a ass hauler set list then?
No.
No. Okay. But it's
No.
okay. All right.
Oh,
No.
I learn something new every day.
There you go.
Per se. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
know
didn't get
about
that memo?
I guess you didn't know about that. All right. Here's the deal.
It is what
No,
it is.
what are we doing?
I played with Cam. Well, that's liberal.
Cam and I just met.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just met.
Yeah.
Tonight?
Finally.
Yeah.
More or less. We got
This is
together.
so rock and
Fine.
roll,
Well, no,
man.
no, check this out. So, I booked a gig with Petey back there, and then I was like, well, I guess I need a band because Billy quit before Mercury Ballroom 4 months ago. He agreed to play the show so we could do it, and then as soon as we played the show, he re-quit. Emmie quit. So there,
Really?
yeah, there was no ass haulers. And then I got really
Well, there
bored.
was an ass hauler.
Hauler, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well,
An asshole.
I put an ad in Louisville Music, blah blah blah, and Cam was, let's say, the most enthusiastic.
Yeah, I blew him up.
Yeah, he was like,
a
"This
whole
is
bunch
my
of
fucking
stuff,
shit.
and-
I'll do this shit. This is my band. This is my music." I'm like, and then we spent like 3
Yeah.
days exchanging pictures of our dogs, and didn't talk
Yeah.
about music at all. So then
A little shit, man.
we had this gig thing, so we decided we should probably get together and play.
Right.
Spent a weekend drinking, and we played like 3 songs. But
Yeah, I didn't hear anything for like 2 months.
Yeah,
and then
2 months.
That one got
Whoa.
married, and then when I was in Hawaii, I got a
This is
text,
so TMZ.
and then they said just come play some songs, and then I played the songs, and it's pretty decent,
yeah, I was like, "You're decent."
Yeah, I don't suck.
Yeah.
So that's all you can do.
I don't like you.
But
So then I went to his. He had a birthday, and I went over to his house to like buy him some dinner and stuff, and started talking about the gigs. He's like, "So I'm in the band?" I'm like, "Well, yeah. I thought you
All right.
assumed that."
but there was that 2 month
But I was
lull
banned.
Yeah, I just
that
didn't
you
know
were
about,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
and then-
I just
Yeah.
quit the band I was in, and then I joined with him and played like we.
that's how you keep your team in the loop.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
well,
just
I
for,
thought
I guess
he
just for
assumed.
that. But I mean, like it was one of those things where I was like, oh, it was really cool. I'm gonna, we're gonna do that. And it was like a month and a half later, and then I was in Hawaii with my wife, and I was like, oh, cool, I do get to do that. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, you just hit me up. She was like, I thought you already were doing that. And I was like, I don't.
Wait a minute. It sounds like you're the only one that didn't
Yeah,
know.
you didn't know. Your wife.
The wife
Oh,
did?
I do.
No, because she turns into my stenographer after like 5 o'clock.
Oh,
my
gotcha.
wife, she lets me
She
know. when
reads
I'm-
it back to
yeah,
him. Like in the
yeah,
morning, he's like, "What happened yesterday?" She
Yeah.
reads it back to him.
Yeah.
And then,
tremendous.
She's
and
the
then,
narrator in your
Yeah.
I haven't seen this
this one.
person, wonderful person, and since a couple days after Mercury Ballroom when she kicked me to the curb.
And why? Let me bring her in. I mean,
don't
why
think you
did
need
you?
to get personal?
No, it's not. Or maybe. Why the exit?
Creative differences.
Creative, yeah.
Is
yeah,
it really?
Differences.
Sure.
Well,
Was
simply
it-
that.
And then she wrote an album in 4 months, so that's
Yeah.
everything's going to change.
Called Not the Assholers.
Yeah, but we're going to co-opt all the songs, and it's going to be asshole songs.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway,
Is she aware of that?
Cam and I have jammed together once or twice. I shouldn't be saying
I'm aware.
this in
I don't know
front
if
of
I've
the promoter,
accepted it
but
Yeah.
we've jammed together once or twice. We haven't all 3 played together. Emmy's gonna, yeah, it's gonna be great.
I mean, in spirit.
I know the
we
part,
play
you
together.
know.
Yeah,
no,
in
we've been
spirit.
texting a lot, I guess.
Like-
And
But what brought?
I've seen lots
what
of
brought you
photos.
back? What brought you back? Besides missing Stephen Clark, what
I have
brought you
no
back?
idea about
Oof.
that.
Oh, it was a text for me.
Jack,
Yeah,
dude,
just a text.
what reeled you back? What made you come back to
He
the?
texted help.
I don't remember.
Help.
Yeah, I guess I don't
Wile
know.
E. Coyote. You know.
For you?
Yeah, you know, Billy and I did the, we had the full ass hauler band, and then we did the half ass hauler.
Obviously, it
so it was
doesn't
he and
matter.
And it was all right. You know, it got us by.
So then there's Steven came up and then he was like, I'm gonna burn all my shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I did shave my head and burn all my shit.
He shaved his head and burned all his shit since we're doing
You
this
did go
interruption.
with
It's
this.
your
Whoa,
turn.
yeah,
I
we-
shaved my head and started burning amplifiers. You saw that on the Facebooks? Yeah, and then she's texting me, "You're an asshole, quit being an asshole."
I was like, you're looking like an effing psycho.
Yeah, and then people are
Except for I said
texting me,
fuck.
Worried.
texting the wife,
Yeah.
and they're like, you know, there's kids that want to be in a band and they could use this music. And I'm
I didn't get no
like,
text
"Fuck
in
yeah,
2
let's get a
months."
paper route. I pay for this shit.
Yeah, that's kind of like the same people who are ripping all the people burning the Nike gear because of.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I'm just saying, I've
Anyway.
like, I had to shut her down. I've given some instruments to like girly rock school and
It's okay
stuff.
giving. You don't have to burn all that. Come on.
But
Music
I can
is
still,
a gift.
Look, I can
Music
still
is a
burn
gift.
God damn it, I can burn what I
Don't
want to
just
burn.
don't burn it. Just pawn it, because at least you get some
Yeah.
money out
No,
of
but
it. You know?
look,
You
man.
can spend it on all this
Look,
beer
let
that
me
you
tell
love so
something.
preciously.
I have a bonfire
If I
every
burn something,
night.
just pawn it.
I have a
It's like
bonfire
it's an
every night.
effigy,
I'm
you
gonna
know?
burn what the fuck I want
It's
to
a
burn.
financial effigy.
I'm gonna shave my head and I'm gonna burn everything.
Well, your hair is looking good now, but I still haven't heard.
Well, the
what,
point was, it was like a death clock. Okay.
Okay,
Death clock. Death clock.
so that's what
So
brought her
it's
back.
like
Yeah,
I'm
death
gonna burn
clock.
it. I'm gonna burn an amp and a
Death
guitar
clock.
every day until
Well, I have to
somebody
think of the
plays with
answer
me
first.
again. You know what I mean?
Right
it was
now,
kind of
I'm
that
like, I
thing.
don't
It's
know.
like somebody's got to come save me because I'm burning all my shit. I'm gonna run out of shit sooner or later.
It worked.
I don't know. That's what the therapist said.
Yeah. So you
Beer can talk.
so you're back.
Beer
I'm
can
back.
talk?
Yeah.
I don't know how
It
long that
does.
lasts.
I feel like it's, yeah.
How long was it? How long were you gone?
I don't know.
You don't
4
know.
months.
Wait, yeah, I guess about 4 months, yeah. Well, until now,
Mercury
what was
Ballroom.
it?
So yeah, that was.
Late April?
I have no
I
idea.
would say yeah.
I have no concept
Anyway.
of time. Honestly, I have no concept of time.
Stephen Clark has no concept of time.
Emmie Beretta is a douchebag.
I am a douchebag.
We've got
A female douchebag.
I am a female douche.
power trio because your music is
Oh,
powerful.
a power trio.
Power trio.
Wait. Everyone grab your
Yeah.
pinky.
Hey,
cheers.
Somebody tune up.
Power trio.
Why? Oh,
What's your-
oh,
what's
oh,
going
so
on?
wonderful.
Yeah. All right, so what's your question?
What's up next for you guys? You got a gig this coming weekend, this Saturday. The what is it?
15.
Yeah, with Taco Mount.
Yeah, that's super awesome because Cameron and I shot a promo the other night.
Saw that.
Yeah, and I was like, "Are you sure it's on the fucking 14th?" And he's like, "I swear it is." And I
No,
was like,
I said I'm
Wait.
sure as I
Wait.
am sure.
"Yeah," and I said, "Well, let's
Nothing.
check the calendar." He's like, "We don't need to check the
I didn't
calendars."
say that.
What
Yes, you
it's the
did.
15th, right?
I know, but
Oh,
we shot the promo.
I got a show to
And he's
go to
like,
on the 14th.
On the 15th. And then I had to cut all that stuff out.
Yeah, I point a lot in it.
He did
I
point
did.
a
I do
lot.
like to- I like to do
This
that.
is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
like-
So
So-
this will be the first gig
Yeah,
Oh
with
yeah,
the,
yeah.
with the, the whole deal. It'll be the first gig.
and the first gig since returning.
I guess the first gig since the last gig for
Yeah.
any of us.
Which is
Yeah.
With
It's
this
the
one.
best Asshaulers album since the last Asshaulers album.
well, it is a good album.
Have you listened to it?
Yes, I
Did you
have.
download it?
Absolutely.
From the website?
Yes.
Really? Which format did you download it in?
Which website?
The asshollers.com. Well,
I mean, did you download the WAV or did you download the MP3?
MP3.
Okay, because the WAV's for the audio files.
What should I have done?
The WAV.
I thought Wave was a bad thing.
No, WAV is a higher. It's better format than MP3.
But I think on the MP3 it was coming. It was at 320. The
It doesn't matter. Let's
Okay.
not get into the
Let's
nerd
not.
shit.
I don't
That's me.
understand
That's
none
me
of
being
this.
nerdy. That's me being
All
nerdy.
right. And just to let people know, with Stephen's permission,
wait a
the
minute.
show, the show music that I use for
Oh yeah,
my bumps.
Yeah, anything you ask me for, I give you. Have I ever denied you?
Not once
Yeah. Yeah.
or twice.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, no. You can have what I have.
and no.
Oh, is it mostly our stuff?
It's really all of your stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm really am a fan.
None of it's my stuff yet, but I mean,
Do you have stuff?
if I'm, you know what I mean?
Do you have
Oh,
stuff?
it's yours now.
Sure, you can claim it. Well, here's the problem:
Yeah.
is we have Power Chord Trilogy Volume 1 finished, and we have 2 and 3 finished.
Really?
Yeah, and then we have a whole album of outtakes, which are things that aren't going to be.
That's called the takeout.
So we're doing like we did the Chinese
Right.
democracy thing. It took forever, but now we've got the what was the other fucking things where they put out a whole Use Your Illusion. Now we've got all those, and she's crapping out stuff, and I'm crapping out stuff, and we have stuff recorded. Quit kicking me.
Well, every now and then,
And
just gotta kick
so we have all this stuff, and then we have to record him on new stuff.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a while before you may hear him because there's so much stuff already banked up.
Now, with the recent album, you had some new tracks, but you did remixes of some of your other stuff, your older stuff.
What you mean by that? What older stuff?
Haul Your Ass, Super Buzz.
All your ass. That's his favorite song, Super
It
Buzz.
is.
That's all he wants to play.
I
He
love
just wants to
it.
play.
Yeah.
I'm so
Super
sick of
Buzz.
that song.
Yeah.
He just wants to play that song all the time.
No, but then Emmie has taken kick drum to a whole fucking new level.
Oh yeah, well that's gonna be a public
Thank you.
local public radio staple.
Yeah, we got
I mean,
shakers.
and she's so bilingual. The boom boom, just
She's like totally bilingual.
Yeah.
Well, she just decided that she's going to sing all the vocals on Butts, Sluts, Booze, and Tits now.
Oh, did I now?
Are you not?
this is breaking news. Like,
We're learning as we
You took it from me. You took
We
it
are
from me.
learning as we go. It
Hearing
could
this shit
happen.
live.
It could happen.
And you know what else we're working up is the old Cornbread Mafia song, Do You Like to Fuck?
Oh, are we now?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
You didn't get the memo?
I didn't
Yeah, we are.
Send me the Howler.
You like it.
Yeah.
What about the Howler?
That's a Harry Potter joke. That's lame.
I don't know what you're
I don't
talking
know
about.
either.
All right, so
So we got two more records.
3 more records.
3 more records.
Done, and we're still writing.
Still writing. Emmie stuff. Can I ask? Is it ass holler?
Nope. Well, here's the,
some of it. You
I mean,
you
have
handle
not.
that one. You
have,
handle
you
that
have
one.
not heard it all. Yeah. Why are you asking him about
yeah.
my music? This is kind of
Yeah,
weird.
why you asking
I'm
me?
feeling a little.
bring it,
like,
Emmie.
yeah.
Step up.
Not all of it. There are a couple of songs, so I think it'd be pretty ass hollerish esque. But no, not all of them. No.
Okay.
Well, see, here's
I don't
the
even
thing.
know what to.
Here's the thing. We have a song called The Honeybee, and Emmie said, "Well, can't put that on there because it's not like the rest."
That's real
I didn't
time-
say
it's
that.
You
real-
did too. You
I
said,
did not say that.
You said this. You went,
She- with the hands too.
I probably did. That sounds and looks a lot like
Raise
me.
your hand. Let's see that.
Okay, here's
I
the.
would-
All right.
No, check this out.
Wait.
I'm Steven
All right,
Clark.
all right, Kate, wait a minute. I need you to take the video.
Steven Clark.
Take the video to black and white for the reenactment, okay?
I like to tell stories. I'm Steven Clark.
Ooh, we can't do that one because it's not an asshole song. Ooh.
It is. It's.
Okay, now listen. Listen.
I look constipated all the time.
So here's the
Steven
deal.
Clark.
And I said, God damn it, we wrote it, didn't we? Did we not write it? Did we not write it?
No, I mean I
So-
had no part in writing it, but
Shit. So listen, if we
wasn't there.
wrote it,
I wasn't there for
okay?
sure.
Look, if we
you're
wrote it,
here now, man.
ain't no talking when I'm talking.
This is really fun. We
Listen,
finally have a chance to
if we-
talk. Let's just do this.
No, you
It's
can't
our
talk
time
now.
I'm bringing it in.
It's our time
Petey,
now.
where are those
Here we
tequila
are.
shots?
We're
You
here.
said there were
We're
going to be
here.
tequila shots.
Downstairs.
For us, not you. So here's the deal.
Oh, you said,
Honeybee,
Pete.
not Texas Pete.
yeah. That,
So she's like, well, it doesn't really, it's not like all the other songs. But we fucking wrote it.
Yeah.
So why shouldn't it be there? Why should you go, oh, well, all this stuff has to be like this? If we wrote it,
That's the closest thing to a ballad that I would get from you guys.
cool.
I like how I have no recollection of saying that. I think it's a great finisher for an album.
but the point is,
Oh, okay.
is her
I
stuff-
retract it now.
Let's come to the
the
way.
point is her stuff is very different from what you're hearing there, but there's no
True.
reason not
Most
to
of
go
it.
there. There's no reason
Gotcha,
not to go
gotcha.
there.
I see what you're saying. All right.
That was
He
my
wants to go
very
there.
long,
shall see
aggressive
where we go.
point. No reason not to go there.
Ah.
If that's what you feel at the moment, hey, fucking Bob Dylan.
Ew.
You have no.
Bob, one minute he's acoustic,
Sounded
the
good.
next time he's electric. Okay, he fucking did what he wanted. That's the deal. Just do whatever's coming next that you feel like's coming next. Don't go, this is what we do, so we have to do it like this.
But to her point, it doesn't.
So you're on
sound-
her team.
No, I'm just.
you're on fucking-
I mean, it
It
doesn't.
doesn't sound like it yet.
It doesn't sound like
You know,
one of the
like-
previous ass hauler songs that I've heard.
No, it's actually music. It's actually good.
I like it. No, I do like
No, her
it.
stuff's good
Oh,
music. Like,
honey.
we're all classically trained and all hoity-toity and shit.
Oh yeah, I am classically trained. That is true.
One thing you do so well is incorporate a visual, a video, a video as you call it. So, do we got what's
French fried potatoes.
I incorporate visuals very well.
No bigger than a squirrel.
so
Grab some color to
you know, and you've done you
I
directed
call it
videos
so.
for local bands, several bands in town. Velvet Saints. You just did one with Brian Fox, which is gonna be
Which I still haven't edited yet. I'm sorry, Brian, buddy. I love you. I just been.
You had
I've been living in my car. It just smells like fucking White Castle farts.
You
and
had a
dead
pinata
dreams
of a
and
chick.
tears.
Not just your car that smells
Huh?
like
a,
White Castle.
a chick.
I woke up with a White Castle in my pocket, dude. This
When?
morning.
Really?
This morning. I had a White Castle, and I put mayonnaise on my White Castles. I woke up that way. So what about video?
Here.
What was your question?
Fucking dumb.
Where's Pete with that tequila? Pete, come on, man.
My point, or my question, or not statement more, is that you do a good job of incorporating visuals with your, help to promote your band
Per se.
per se.
Per se.
Yeah. Do we?
Per se.
What's
se.
what's left? What's left?
We
with
will.
the-
We pledge to shoot a commercial, a video commercial for every gig.
Oh shit.
Shit.
That's the first bad word I said on here today,
damn.
except for
You're
ass.
entitled.
Yeah. We've decided.
When are we?
We've
when
decided
are we
that we're
shooting
gonna
the
have a video
for the-
day. Shh.
for the show.
We're gonna have a video
I'm
day
learning so much about myself.
where we just knock out all these videos in one
Scotty
day.
don't. Scotty don't.
Part of the fun is learning.
Yeah, part of
That's
it.
the whole thing.
Good
It's
Lord.
just
This interview's over.
Or is it?
Or is
Dun dun dun.
I don't know. The only reason I showed up is because you told me that Pete was gonna buy us tequila shots.
that is not the only reason. It's to promote art.
Oof.
Not you.
Anyway,
Well,
everyone's
actually,
hammered.
it was a first. I'm hearing if I heard this right, this is first. Is this the first? When was the last time you saw Emmie?
This whole
Sar?
thing- this whole
Yeah.
thing's
Ever?
all new.
No, yeah, like since she quit. I mean, his
Tonight when she showed up
before that.
before
Yeah.
ever
Yeah,
before
I
that.
saw him
Yeah.
just like a second ago. He's like,
What do you
right
mean?
next
The
to
first
me.
time
This
I've
is
ever
a
seen her
loaded
ever
question.
in
When
my
was the
life?
last time you saw her besides?
Oh,
getting dark in
let's
here.
see. We played Mercury Ballroom,
All right,
whatever
so
it
that-
was. Well, listen, and then we met for a beer a couple days after that, and she's like, "Dude, I can't do this anymore. I hate you, and I'm gonna need you to just, fuck off and die."
I didn't say it in those words, but
More or less. Did you hear what I said?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny when you're actually telling the truth. That's when you try to hide what I'm saying. I guess
just
I'm
bought me
just
cheese
I'm
fries.
so
when I
awful.
tell her
know,
when I
back
tell
in
you
the
the
band.
truth, that's when I try to hide what she's saying.
Yeah.
It's all.
Oh, that's a nut wrapped in a riddle inside of a riddle
It's
wrapped
just-
in a nut.
No, it's the brutal honesty.
awesome.
You just have
But
to accept
tonight is the first night that the three of you all
Yeah.
are in the same place.
Yeah, ain't that
So it's a
something?
meet.
Yeah, that's why we look like we're from three different
Yeah,
bands.
Yeah, it's like how did, we
Yeah.
didn't coordinate it. Like, how should you dress? How should I dress?
Yeah, no, I was just all like, you know what? I really like this shirt. I'm gonna wear this tonight.
Yeah.
It's actually by a local vendor, AFM.
And I woke up in this. So
The only reason I wore what I'm wearing is because I got married in like a month ago, and I was like, I didn't spend
I like that jacket.
$28 on a jacket not to wear
Nice.
again.
It's like,
$28 is pretty heavy.
he's got memories attached to that
Yeah,
jacket.
it's
This
a
jacket,
lot
man.
going on, and
I don't know.
and this whole thing is going to be pretty awesome.
Oh, it sounds like there's some kind of bachelorette party or something.
There
here.
is. I mean, there's a part of my thing to do the show here is that Kevin Cummings has a standing gig every Tuesday night.
You know
so
what my bachelor party was?
What?
I just asked to be. I said I just want to go outside and sit there and drink a beer and be left alone. And that was it.
That was
For
it?
about 3 hours. I got
But
Five
you went to
more points
Hawaii.
to yak.
What was Hawaii? The
I
honeymoon?
guarantee I can puke.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to
Yeah,
puke?
that was
You want me to puke all over all
Oh,
this?
no, only if
but
it's
just 2
genuine. Only
hours.
if it's
No, I can
genuine.
do it.
Outside,
No, it
I
has to
said,
be like a genuine.
Oh, like I just
reaction.
can't use my
my
finger.
old cheesy music I like, be left alone. It was the best fun.
What kind of music did you listen to when you were pouting?
I
Yeah.
wasn't fucking pouting, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I was enjoying myself.
Where'd you get pouting from?
I listened to a lot of AC/DC, some Lou Reed, and then Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings. I ran the whole fucking.
I mean,
gamut.
that's
You know
that's
what-
covered all the food groups
yeah.
there.
Waylon-
Every emotion got you
Yeah.
know. touched.
Waylon had the best voice. I love Johnny Cash and I love Willie and all them, but the best overall voice was Waylon. He just had that milky, badass low voice, don't you think?
Don't you think?
Don't you think?
Milky.
Hey, no, hey, wait a minute. Now that I live in the
milky.
South End, I have to end everything with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, I get called out for that.
You know what I'm
so much,
saying?
dude? I hate that. Everybody says, "You don't
Hey,
say
you know what I'm
word."
saying?
Yeah, fuck that.
Hey man, can I get 50 cents from you? You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna throw this question statement out loud so Petey can hear it.
Pete!
This is the knock.
Wait a minute, is it Pete T or is it PT?
It's Mr. T. Well, no, it's PT. Yeah.
Mr. Peter.
I think it's cool about
Pizza.
And,
Pizza.
Pizza is on the same page with me on this.
something that needs to be known about me is when I get too drunk, I turn into somebody called Texas Pete.
Really?
And yeah,
Isn't that like a hot sauce or
have
something
not
like that?
It is a hot
Jesus.
sauce, but
This
I
is
call
all
myself
new.
that, and then me and my wife, I say, oh, okay, well, I'm Texas Pete now, or say Pete's home, and she'll say, okay. And then I start referring to her as Brenda. So when you wake up in the morning and you're too pissed off at the other one, you go, oh, Brenda was a nightmare last night, or she'll say, oh, Pete lost my fucking keys.
So it's a role play way for you to disengage from your actions.
Yeah,
I get that.
that's
Like that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
It's escapism.
It's like it's escapism.
like that.
Yeah, it's like,
it works out pretty well.
baby, I didn't beat you.
Start doing
That
that,
wasn't
to
me.
myself.
That wasn't me. That was Texas Pete.
That was Texas.
That was Pete.
Damn it, Michelle! Why are you doing that?
Texas Pete only beats
Emmie,
me when I deserve
you're a real
it.
bitch last night.
Whether it's on the phone or in person, I've lost total control of this interview. But you know, it's all good. I know.
You didn't try to
Well,
bring it in.
what was the, we need the ass haulers to have more gigs. You guys
Have
do
more
not
what now?
gigs.
Oh, gigs.
Yeah, you do not play enough to my.
Motherfucker! Wait a minute.
We
Why are you
need-
rushing us? Look,
I
we
just
did
met him.
4 gigs. We did 4 gigs in 2.5 years.
We haven't even
Is that
had
not
dinner
enough?
together.
Is that not enough?
Not for me.
4 gigs in 2.5 years. That's not enough.
No. So
Yeah, it was more than that. I did that
So-
one in the wheelchair.
Yeah, you did
Oh,
one in
yeah.
a wheelchair, but that was gig number 3.
Oh.
So we did a gig. We had to carry her up in a wheelchair and shit.
True
it was a
story.
chair that had wheels on it.
All of it. All of
Can you imagine that? That's the world we're living in now. Fucking the future, man.
Yeah.
We're living in the future where chairs have
Foot
wheels.
pedals.
Yeah.
I like the little.
So
Oh yeah, she couldn't work her foot pedals because her.
No, they're foot rests.
Because she had her.
Whoa,
Hey,
whoa,
she already did.
there.
Electronics and beer. Electronics and beer.
Phew, phew.
Okay, so what's
original
up?
music.
Did you have a question?
Somehow, yeah, somewhere I did.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
this should be good.
Hold
I
on.
don't
You
know.
can ask a question.
No, I
but-
come
Oh, we
with
should
my
start
own
writing
agenda.
stuff
Hold
down.
on.
I
This
have
is
my own
great.
agenda.
Petey.
Stephen Clark
He's
has his
gonna
own
have us on
agenda.
here all
That's why
day.
I can't wait to interview third person Stephen Clark. But again,
Ask your fucking question.
we need
Ask your fucking
venues
question.
to let bands with
Ask your fucking question.
original music. How are we going to hear you guys more often?
You know what drives me crazy?
That's a good question.
Original music.
No, why is it drive? That's my thing.
Well, all music is original music.
make sure- no.
All music is original music unless it's a cover band.
Okay.
You're creating music.
All right.
It's music.
Fair enough. Fair
Did
enough.
they go, hey, Bob Dylan? Oh, we like your original
Do you
music.
see why I left the band?
Which time?
Any of them, man.
All-
Just let
No,
them
it's
ask
just that stuff
questions.
drives me
See
crazy.
all the above.
All right, you can ask them
Why are you
questions.
being fighty?
I'm not fighting.
He's feisty.
Ask him
Fighty.
questions.
No, he's a feisty.
No,
He's
well,
feisty.
here's the thing. I'm putting my.
Look, man. Okay,
I am.
you can ask them some questions
I am-
because I'm done with this
Do you
shit.
really wanna
You're throwing
hurt
me. We
Do you?
I am on a crusade
Make me
for
cry.
with this shooting from the lip thing for whatever it's worth to get.
It's a fantastic podcast. I watched this and I watched the Joe Rogan Experience.
That's my man, Joe
This
Rogan.
fucking guy, the
Oh,
one
wait,
with
hold on
Elon
a second.
Musk.
I just wanted to say something.
The one with Elon Musk.
Hi, Mom.
Yes, Elon.
Hey, Mom.
Yes.
Hey, Mom.
Hey,
Love you.
Mom.
Love
I
you,
might as well
Mom.
tell my mom
Hi, Dad.
hi too, because
Hey.
My mom's not talking to me right now because I made a really negative post about the South End. So, hey, Mom, when you decide to take me back, we'll
See you in October, Mom.
we'll deal. We'll deal.
So more gigs.
Cutting me out
Do
of
we
the
get?
cutting me out of
Do
the
we get
fucking
to hear you
empire.
play more often?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah.
I'm thinking those guys would like it.
No, we've got something. We've got something
Well,
in I
More
think
gigs
July.
means
We got
more
one in
exposure to
July,
this.
2019.
Where am I? Dun, dun, dun.
2019 is going to be hot, man.
Yeah, figuratively and literally, right?
We're in 2018 though.
Yeah.
So what about that?
Come on.
So look, man. What more questions you got over there?
Nicely, you can ask a question now.
Hey, Jewish New Year.
What more questions you got over there?
Yesterday.
Go ahead.
Hey, you have any questions, Emmie?
Yesterday.
You have any questions?
No.
No.
I mean, maybe in a second. No.
Oh, the panel's just like blank.
do you have a question?
Oh, you know what? How do you feel about us interrupting you so frequently on this show? How is
It
it?
was expected.
Who's
It was-
this fella? You
You
want to
okay
come
with
over and
that?
talk with us?
Hey,
Hey,
I got Stu Askew's stand-up comic in town.
Stewart- Oh, well, he can interject some.
These
Yeah,
are the-
why are
the
you
assholes.
why are you
Come
not
over
in
here.
Why
You
did
can
Collectively,
liven this
the
thing up.
assholes.
Come on over here. Come on over here.
I was looking at you. I didn't
No,
even see
come
you.
on. Come right over
He's
here.
bad. He's on my last segment.
Will he be in the shot?
He'll be. Well, he can be.
Come on, squeeze in. Or right here's good. Whatever. You'll be right in the shot.
He is.
Here, I'll give you my seat. You seem like a tall drink of water, so I'll
I'm good to stand, man.
Okay.
I'm good, yeah.
yeah.
He just want to sit where you're crusty
So who's
ass.
this fella? Who is this handsome devil?
He's stand-up comic Stu Askew. We talk. This is the last segment of the night. He comes on and we talk trending news.
Oh, really?
A lot of it is politics.
Do that.
Nice to meet you.
Politics. You can stick around and talk.
Lead
I was
into
gonna say.
drink-
Nike's a hot topic. Nike's a hot. The whole Nike thing's a hot topic. So
Being a crybaby.
yeah, Serena being a crybaby.
So proud of it.
Yeah.
Mad because she was losing. Are we still recording?
This segment is still recording, but it's been off the rails for 5 minutes into it.
It's been just
The ass hollers.
Sitting here
Yeah.
until we're not
Remarkable.
sitting here anymore. I
The
guess.
assholes?
Yes.
haulers.
Haulers?
Haulers. Haulers.
Like,
Haulers.
I'm gonna haul
No,
this.
no,
I'm gonna
okay.
haul this
Haulers.
to the end right now.
Take the butt.
Yeah, like hauling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you
Yeah,
haul.
yeah.
They kick ass.
Yeah, you
Original
get
music.
something.
I'll make sure you get their sound, man, or get their music. It's good stuff.
All right, so let's do this.
But
What are we
What's the
talking
first
about?
topic?
I'm gonna get.
We're just going to lean into it.
well, no, actually, I have to take a. I have to because
No,
I have to.
Wait, we're,
Go for it.
No, we can come back. Yeah, I do have to pee, and I need to refill my drink.
were we recording? Was that the segment?
Not re-
Did
well,
we do that?
Let's wrap up. Hold on.
What do you mean? Let's wrap up. We're.
I don't have to pee.
I don't understand.
Go pee, sissy.
Did we just do them one of them their podcasts?
Yeah, let's.
Podcast.
We just did a. Oh, I thought we were practicing. I thought we were practicing.
Hey,
They hijacked this segment
it's over?
every time.
could you get all these
Pretty cool.
microphones out of the way? They're in the way of my nachos.
Why don't you sit? Oh, what you got up in chairs?
All right,
Something
Cam's
chairs.
leaving.
But I just met
bring
you,
me some
Cam.
beer.
I just
You-
met Cam, and
The
now
ass
he's
hollers,
gone.
Stephen Clark, Emmie Beretta, Cam Stevens.
See, I was going to try to do like an interlude.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Good luck
you.
with this day.
Let's
right, guys. Last segment of the night, shooting from Lip 352. It's Tuesday, September 11, 2018. Our on-site recording at
September 11th.
Why are you moving away from me already? I haven't said anything.
Baxter's 942. Guys, it is September 11th. It's 17 years after that event. Steven mentioned during his segment his thoughts, but real quick, where were you, Stu? Let's.
Much like everyone, I'll never forget where I was. I was lying in bed, and my roommate came over and banged on the door. And I'm not being funny about this at all. It's just, this is kind of how it happened. Like, I wake up and I'm like, what do you want? He's like, dude, we're being attacked. So I had no idea what he was talking about. I thought he was joking. We went to the room. The first tower had just actually been hit by the plane. The second tower hadn't been hit yet. And it was weird. It was surreal. We sat back and we lit what we call the Blue Meanie and just kind of watched history happen. It was odd, but it's something that, much like everyone who's of a certain age, you never forget, like those following, 10, 12 hours of just kind of being glued to the set and calling people that this is actually happening. Like, there's a terrorist attack of this magnitude happening in America. It was surreal.
What's a Blue Meanie?
Blue Meanie, he was about a 3-foot hookah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Blue Meanie, he was the
not
man.
into that.
Yeah. He was a good piece.
What about you, Kev?
I was in high school, and so I remember mine was extremely attached to religion because my school was religious, so it was pretty much just everyone praying and stuff. But yeah, I think the biggest significance is what Stewart said, is that people saw it happen the second plane. I think if it just would have been both at once or just the one, it wouldn't have felt the same.
No.
But I'm watching this in real time, and then I see something that catastrophic. I think that was
Good God, yeah.
like,
Yeah. It's like you didn't believe what you were seeing.
yeah, it's why it burned so deeply
Yeah.
in the consciousness of America.
Well, when somebody called me and they told me what happened, I was like, bullshit. And then I turned the TV on, and then I watched the other one live, and then it was like,
Yeah.
wow, this is some real stuff.
It's literally happened with so many people that way, because when the first one hit, like, a lot of people didn't know what had happened. They thought there was some kind of explosion in the trade tower. So, a lot of people tune in and a lot of people hear from their family. And then everyone actually saw the cause of the first one when the second one hit. And it was just like, wow, it's like something you've seen in a movie. It was unthought of. It's something that kind of, I think, brought us kind of more down to earth, because so many terrorist attacks happened overseas before this, and we thought it was just kind of a
We were untouchable.
European problem.
It
or-
still feels odd to me that it was a one-off, like that there wasn't more things. When I
Yeah.
think about it, because
Inside job.
Inside job.
Is there?
I don't
Come
know
on.
about
Inside job.
I'm not even saying like the whole conspiracy thing. I'm just saying, like, when I was at that point, I definitely thought like there's more shit coming,
Right.
and then
Well,
it was
I mean-
like never again, really. I mean, not in that sense, but-
Well, think about when they tried to bomb. There she is. They tried to bomb the World Trade Center from
Within
the ground level.
Yeah.
They just tried to do
years
some-
earlier.
Yeah,
a couple years
and it
earlier.
was terrible. It was a terrible job. Peace out. What are you saying?
It's one of
Are you
those
leaving?
instances where the government comes into effect, where they started putting all these regulations when it came to like flights and like airlines in general. And I can actually say, they kind of erred on the side of caution with a lot of things. I don't like taking my shoes off if I get on a flight, but at the same point, I'm glad that things are a lot safer.
The problem
than
is
they
that they
were
haven't
beforehand.
passed like any tests. Like anytime they try to do like the government's like, hey, let's see if we can get past. It's like almost every single time ever that they get. Like, the point is, if you want to do it, you can. That's
I think
What do
it's
you
still
mean?
can.
like almost every time the government has tested the TSA on its efficiency, they
Oh, yeah.
failed horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's still
Almost 100%.
in the same breath, though. If you were going to try to do something, it is going to be for a big tight target. And if someone were going to say try to do it through the air, that thing's getting blown away.
Yeah.
Like, the second it goes off path.
Right.
Like they watch that like a hawk now. So even if you got that little shoe bomb on there,
Yeah.
the 150 or whatever people on the plane are kind of fucked. But at the same point, you can save a lot of lives. You know what I'm saying? By
Yeah.
like nipping it in the bud before it actually reaches its destination, so to speak.
Okay.
I don't think that's a lot to ask. I don't think taking your shoes off is a lot to ask.
No. It just, if you flew a lot before it all happened, it was just a totally different experience.
Oh, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I remember like when you could smoke on planes.
Sure, but it just seems like people are a little spoiled and whiny. Try to fly to Israel. see how they treat you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they. Yeah.
And trust me, I'm not saying.
Flying, yeah,
No,
flying
no,
is,
I'm not
is
saying
still
that
a
at all. I'm
privilege.
just like
not
it's
an
a small
entitlement,
price
right?
to pay to not
Right?
die in a fiery
Right.
fucking ball of flames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also, I mean, my argument, it's also capitalistic and it's things. So it's like,
Gotcha. You're
so
right.
could be their decisions since they're the
That's
ones
true.
doing
That's
it.
true.
And all corporations of that size are more efficient than our government. But
All
I
right.
want to ask you
Oh,
on
that's
that
a
point.
beautiful. That's damn. That should be a bumper
Touche.
sticker.
Yeah.
That should be a bumper sticker.
All right, next topic. Mr. Colin
Prius.
Kaepernick named face of Nike's 30th anniversary.
Oh, don't
Just
get me
Do It
started.
campaign. Well, that's why we're talking about this. Get you started. The fallout. A lot of people, a lot of white people,
Yes.
complained. Threatened.
A subgenre of
Yeah.
white people is
Okay,
what
yeah,
you
they're-
mean.
course.
fair.
Of course.
Burnt their Nike gear, but it was announced yesterday or today that Nike sales since that is up 31%.
31%.
Yeah, so Stu, jump in.
Well, I can take the lead off. Sorry, my mom's in the background. She's been drinking. I
Be
was
back, guys.
first, like, just.
Oh,
That was funny.
snap.
That was funny. You know you're going to see her later tonight anyway. But I was just miffed on why people thought to rip off their Nike emblems and burn their shoes. Why? Like, what about Nike making a social issue about what Colin Kaepernick, thank you, was originally making his statement about just against social injustice, period, point blank. They have nothing to do with the national anthem being played every time you put on your Nikes. The national anthem does not come on over your head. So when all these people started burning their gear in effigy and making these videos like, oh yeah, screw Nike now. Why do you really hate, I'm sorry, black people or minorities that much that you're going to let like a hijacked issue that our president made up become your focal point when Nike tries to make a great social
I
statement?
definitely think there are plenty of completely, and this may be a crazy statement, I think there's plenty of non-racist people that still have the hatred toward it because they are so ingrained in the patriotism as religion, I would argue. So, I mean, they're so, like, so to them, it's not about what he's standing for or not standing for. It's about the fact that when the flag plays, you have to pray to Jesus and stand up, and you know what I mean. It's like a very religious, and I'm not saying specifically Jesus. I mean the religious in the sense that patriotism is a faith that people believe in way more than they need to. You know, God and country. My grandfather. It's like whether or not he's racist.
That's a great point.
It's like patriotism. I mean, to me, it's I don't understand. Like, I think you should have a healthy sense of patriotism, but I don't feel a need for songs, or I don't feel a need for stand this way when this comes on. Like I just don't give a shit.
There is a
about any
difference
of it.
between patriotism and nationalism. You know what I'm saying? There's a
and
difference between having
and
pride
to
in
me,
your country. for what
forcing
it's
someone to do something patriotic, forced patriotism
That's nationalism.
is nationalism.
Yeah.
So to me,
Okay.
it's like, why can't, like, I mean, I feel like without social media too, the story of Colin Kaepernick, there'd be like 9 people that'd be like, yeah, fuck that guy, and then we just move on. But because it's like this thing we all want to jump on, it's like, what the fuck else do we have to do other than talk about this one dude? So it just fuels it.
All right, let me quickly touch on 2 things.
All right.
My uncle said that one time.
What's that? Can you repeat that? Can you
He said my
repeat
uncle said that one time. my
No,
uncle
here's
said that
here's
all
the deal.
the time.
Okay, so first of all, you're absolutely correct. It has nothing to do with patriotism or the fucking flag or the military or any of that garbage, okay? Here's the deal. When you see the Marine Band come out at the beginning of the NFL experience on TV, okay? They're fucking paying for that.
Oh, the NFL
They're
is paying them.
No.
No. Oh, you're
The
right. I said
military,
it wrong. I said it
the
wrong.
military
Right.
is paying
You're right.
$30,000 to $50,000
Yes.
for
That's right.
their 2 or 3 minutes.
Right. You're right.
To be
yeah,
patriotic.
Yeah.
If the NFL fucking cared about the military, they'd be like, we're going to give you 3 free minutes to do whatever you got to do. The
Exactly.
marching band, and we're going to salute the military, and we're
Great
going to roll the
point.
dude out in the
Or they
wheelchair.
could care fully and just not think that football has to be patriotic. It's
Okay,
like,
but here's the
if you
thing.
go to a concert, they don't play before John Mayer plays. They don't play the fucking national anthem.
Hey,
Right.
but you have
anybody
to
here-
when it's guys throwing balls in the air.
Anybody here ever been in a bar?
Yeah.
Anybody ever here been in a chicken wing place?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. Did everybody fucking stand up and shut their mouth when the national anthem came on? No.
You have to do it if you're in proximity.
No.
I think they do at Ted Nugent concerts, but that's
but that's after he shoots an arrow into fucking Obama's face.
That's so true.
Okay,
and
that's
bites
when
the
that
head
happens.
off a live elk, not a bat, but a live elk.
It's like
he
threw
slowly
a live
gnaws it.
elk into Obama's face.
I just
And
really,
everybody's like, yeah,
I think
fucking yeah, America, man.
I think,
Threw a live
I think the
elk.
super patriotic people, and I mean that in the connotation of patriotic, I think often forget that you can be just like you can give a shit about your country and the ideals just as much, but just not need to like wear the costume, you know?
Right.
It's like you can wear and like it doesn't matter what you wear or when you stand, or it's like how you live your life should be way more relevant than the than the sacrament, than the it's like communion for America. You have to do these certain little special things. I just
And standing
I've
is your wafer.
that being said, there's nothing wrong with it. Just like I don't want to listen to Lee Greenwood on my way home tonight.
Right.
But the people that want to well up in tears about
What's his deal? What's his?
God bless the USA.
love America.
Nope, that's
What's
not
his
it at all.
deal? Which
That's the most communist thing I've ever heard. Is not
one?
knowing Lee
Which one?
Greenwood. Holy
Oh,
shit!
yeah.
had me over there, not who it
I'm
was.
socialist, but what's his deal? What's his thing?
God bless the USA.
God bless the USA. Blah blah blah. He was like the only guy. He was like the only guy that fucking Trump could get to play his
No, you're talking about Toby Keith.
Twiki.
Toby Keith.
Was that Toby
That's who you're
Keith?
talking about, I think.
Oh God, I
Lee
hate that guy
Greenwood.
too. I hate him.
Anyway,
all.
my point is that actual,
all.
like the lovey-dovey patriotism is completely fine, and I even see the need for it, especially when it's like someone that went through a horrible experience in the military, and they kind of want to gather around the ideals, and like I think it's great. But if you want to just live here and mind your own fucking business, that should be just as American as all the other things.
I thought that was in the American way, and going back to like how this conversation originated. Big ups to Nike for actually taking a social fucking stand.
Yeah.
Because so many corporations sit back, like when it comes to issues like this.
Yes,
and I think this
but I
was
definitely think they did it for money in the end.
It was calculated.
Of course.
As a lot of people have said, they have people looking at marketing and how certain things would be affected. But at the same point, like
Why not?
they are a business.
If you can do
at least
something that you think is relatively good and make money, why not do it that way? I
Exactly.
Yeah,
agree
man.
with that.
If I can save the whales and make a bunch of fucking money off of it, I'm doing that.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
In the same likeness, though, the NFL could have taken a stand. The NFL could have clarified things, you know what I'm saying, for what
They
these people
even
were
could have
kneeling
shut the fuck
about.
up, possibly.
But, or
That
they
would have
could
been
have just
fine.
shut the
Been
fuck
like,
up.
whatever they did.
But they let the White Tower influence them. I'm sorry, I am going to mention Trump in this.
The White Tower.
I promise I wasn't
Go
going to
with
mention
it,
Trump.
baby.
But they let Trump like basically lead this into something that it totally wasn't about, totally taken away from the whole issue that it was about.
It
So
was
here
his
you have
talking
Nike
point.
stepping up, whereas they used to be the
But I mean, people still are that like it's like every day. I still see posts that are just like, how it's pretty. I mean, they literally in their mind, it's like if you take a knee during, it's like saying "fuck you, Trump" or "fuck you, America," "fuck you, military." It's like, no, he's obviously making a specific point.
Well,
it's like Rosa Parks wasn't saying "fuck buses." Like,
Right.
And
right.
plus, a armed service guy, Marine, was it, that was
Yeah,
the one
he was
that
a green,
told?
he was a green beret. He was a
that
green
told
beret, and he
suggested
said,
it.
which
take
makes
it
sense.
down.
It's like
Take it down.
what's the most American like chill protest ever?
Right.
He's not even loitering. He
And how
literally
many
just-
times did Trump defer because of his bone spurs? 4 or 5 times? But he's a fucking chicken hawk.
Well, he deferred from even being involved in the military, like by dodging the draft because of, my daddy's rich. I can avoid going to war.
Right.
I have spurs in my feet. Oh, I can't fight for this country.
But he claimed he was like a badass football player and all that stuff.
Well, it's the same guy that talked down on John McCain for being basically a war hero.
All right, nice segue.
I
John
like,
McCain.
I like people that aren't captured.
Yeah.
last week with the whole John McCain thing, some great eulogies. Megan McCain's was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she called out Trump without saying his name. But what
And
was
then
cool
what
is
happened? And then what
Ivanka
happened?
and Jared were in attendance during that.
I
And
did
then
not
what
know that.
happened? And then what happened
'Cause I
after
know
that?
he
Fucking
said he did
Trump
not want
crushed
Trump
her.
there.
Yeah. And then Trump had to say, but anyways,
John McCain was a great man. After last week, there was a small part of me, it was like, man, I kind of wish you were president for about 4 years, I would have taken 4 years of McCain, 4 years of Obama, knowing what I know about him, like what I've learned about him in the past, I'd say 3 to 4 years.
All right, Trump. Or,
He was a true American. He
McCain-
cared about America,
McCain had his issues.
not policy and party so much. the guy was a Republican, so
I get all that. I'm just saying, I think that the whole military complex just would have grown so big, it would have been insane. That
possibly
would have been like we don't have room for books, like just more machine guns. I just really that dude was. But
possibly.
I still think he's way better than most.
Oh yeah.
way better than what we got now.
He wasn't into torture. You got that going for you. I mean, it's
What you
like
meant on that end
on
of
your
it?
Tinder profile, it's like I'm not into torture.
Too soon.
All right,
Like,
guys,
hey,
too soon.
swipe or swipe. I don't know how that stuff
I got to
works.
cut that part out.
3 more months
of mine.
Yeah, too soon.
You mentioned a topic, and I do have something here where the whole fraternity hazing thing. There's a couple of parents that are on a mission to try to end this thing. Where constantly we're still seeing every year or school time. Kids,
Death here, death there.
yeah, and it's
So weird.
yeah.
It's all blatantly gay too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh yeah.
like,
Go ahead.
and I don't think they're all gay. I'm just saying, like, how come, like, when you need to hate somebody, you can't just be mean to them? Like, you just have to be gay.
Yeah. Why can't it be like jumping somebody into a gang? Why do they have
Punch
to
a
like
dude
be
in the face,
paddled?
you gotta like.
Why they gotta
put
be
a pencil on his
paddled?
asshole?
you gotta put a broomstick in his
MS-13
butt.
was that the group, the gang MS-13?
They should call it gazing. Let's be honest.
Gang?
What?
MS.
That would jump people in. That's
No.
every game.
No, I'm just saying. I'm using that as a.
yeah.
We
Oh,
just
yeah,
assumed you would know. He was like, "What's
No,
the name of that
somebody
again?"
asked. Somebody asked
See,
me.
I don't know.
How was
about
it when
that.
you were born, Stewart? How did they-
I was trying to get somebody in the band, and they were like, "Are we going to be jumped in, or are we going to be sexed in?"
Yeah.
Because there's a difference.
And I really do think fraternities are that like outlet for people to have that college homosexual experimentation because it doesn't make any other sense. It's like, why is everything centered around homosexual activity? But that being said, white frats, black frats, all these frats seem to have this problem of like just getting ultra obliterated, intoxicated, and even if it's not like homosexual activity, someone winds up falling downstairs and dying, or like getting in a car
alcohol
afterwards,
poisoning or
alcohol
whatever.
poisoning.
Okay, so I have a question.
I've never understood the concept of let me get a pay to have a group of friends. Basically.
Exactly, but let me ask you a
Well, if
question.
they're going to be nice to you, I might pay for it. The hell, if they're going to rape me and waterboard me and shit, then I definitely want a discount at
Here's
least.
here's the real deal. Let me ask you a question because I'm fucking super anti frat boy.
Yeah.
And
No
I-
way.
No, you're not
couldn't
gonna
tell.
believe it. But listen, check this out. I want to understand, and maybe you can give me some insight. So, it's a horrible, horrible thing, and you date rape, and you roofie chicks, and all
Yeah.
this stuff, and all that. But, in their world, it serves a purpose because their dads went there, and their brothers went there, and their cousins went
They
there.
get good connections.
And good
and some of
connections,
them
and
are just
that's it.
normal and have friendships, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
honestly.
but I mean, I look at these
But-
kids, I'm like, okay, you're a date raper. That's the way I look at them. So here's the thing. So for them, it's like, well, my dad went there and he was a puka fucking shit a fucker, whatever they call him.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, so he knows that he's going to have access to everything that is within that network. You know what I mean?
for the
Because that's
most
the way it
part,
works,
yeah.
dude.
Kind of.
I've dealt with
Sort
I've
of.
dealt with these people, and it's like, oh, you're a puka.
I think it makes sense. It's just shitty that the idea of it, I think, is awesome. Oh, let's get a group of people together that we're going through this
Yeah.
intense part of our lives. Let's like be
We're
on the
turning
same
into
team.
men.
That
We're
sounds
turning into
awesome.
men.
But it's just sad that it's this weird, shitty
it's
thing.
full of
Yeah.
date rape and homosexual activity.
Did you read the
and
article?
just being mean too, like just being like
Yeah.
we're better than other people. Just that in
yeah,
itself.
yeah.
I mean, that's
But there was an
It's a
article.
way of elitists to like start early, I guess.
It
Get an
really
early start
is.
on things.
there was
that's what expensive preschools are for.
There was an article that came out in Vanity Fair, I think it was like a couple years ago, and it was talking about the basement in this fraternity, and it was just like this deep in fucking puke and urine, and it's like everybody's like swilling and puking, and it was just like it sounded like the fucking ninth hell of burning dicks in Dante's Inferno. I mean, it was evil.
layer.
Fourth layer. It's like the fourth layer.
Dante's
I'm
Inferno.
like, that's what I'm paying for my kids to do?
And that's
not
the
like
thing that
women?
I'm so confused on. It's like it's quite a deal of money, a lot of times, to be a part of these things.
It's huge.
I have to go play music now.
right.
Also,
Well,
I've
wait,
got
we
a
can't
really,
continue without
I've got a
you.
big hazing later on tonight, and
Does it involve?
I've got to buy some Vaseline.
I've got to burn my initials into a paddle a little
Do you have any-
later.
do you need pain pills or
You have
lube?
to have a multitude of
Or is that where you're
tapped
going
on
to
the forehead
introduce El
before you're
Burrow?
initiated.
I love frats, by the way.
Thanks, Kev.
Love you, Kevin Cummings.
Frats are
Kevin
amazing.
Cummings, we'll check him out in a little bit.
Frats
We'll
are
go listen.
amazing.
All right.
But the one thing that was briefly touched on is the whole like little date rape. Like a lot of them are like little date rapers. You know, like it just seems like a collection of just
That seems to find a way to get off. No, I mean, not get off. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Well, that and escape conviction or harsh punishment,
Oh yeah,
and that's
oh, yeah.
white
Universities
privilege. White privilege,
at its finest. At
Yep.
its finest.
Yep, absolutely.
and that's when, you know, I do root for the vigilantes and the people that, you know.
The like the movie Peppermint and stuff like that. You know.
Have
like,
you seen that yet? What's that
Get
about?
Back. I have no idea. It's the chick that was on
Yeah, the one
Jennifer
is,
Gardner. There
yeah,
we go.
there's one that's dating
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
And
Just had to check him
someone
into.
takes her family out or something. She
Right.
goes on revenge. Jodie Foster did the same
No,
thing.
no
a few years
offense.
ago.
I find it hard for. I know this is gonna come across the
Oh
wrong
God!
way.
Let's
but
just
I'm
cut this whole thing out. Not talk about
it's,
it.
I just find it hard for a chick to be in that lead kind of role. But they
Okay,
can-
well,
to
let me
see
tell you
Jennifer
something.
Gardner in that kind of role because she's
fucking
done,
chick,
like,
the fucking chicks
crap.
I've dealt with will kick you in the face.
like this one here, Emmy.
Where is she?
She's still here
You
somewhere.
pointed at her, and I didn't even see her. I'm
I
like,
pointed at the
shit.
wine glass because she's.
She didn't want to. Honestly, she texted me. She didn't want to be in here because of politics.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Anyways,
funny. Well-
check this out. Next topic.
Okay.
Black teen driving with white grandmother handcuffed by police because bystander
Yep.
said he was robbing her.
Black bystander.
Oh, was it a black
Once
guy?
He's a
again,
black guy.
Oh, really?
Black guy said, I see a white woman with some black kids, and I think she's being carjacked.
I mean, this is getting a little out of
It's
hand.
twisted.
And
It's a twisted
being that the
world.
guy that called the police is black, I find funny, but it doesn't surprise me just because it's kind of like the stigma that everyone starts to believe after a while when it's put in your face so much. When you deal with like people in the inner city in general, when you're told over and over again that you won't amount to anything, that you're not as good as other people, that you're a piece of shit, however you want to put it, you start to believe it after a while, you know? So like when I'm just now learning about this, but like when the eyewitness is black, he's just kind of fell into that mentality of, well, I saw a young black cat with an older white woman, so he was probably doing something wrong. It goes down to the whole aspect of the people that are born and raised in the hood. A lot of them like want to get out of the hood. You know what I'm saying? It goes to like, whereas when black people get money, a lot of times they might invest or like move to a nice neighborhood, but they don't invest in black businesses and try to make the neighborhood that
They move
they're
out
in
of the
better.
hood.
Yeah, because they're actually afraid of like what they're in and around, what they've been born and raised in, rather than try to make it better. It's better to escape. So, if it was a black man that saw this, that doesn't necessarily surprise. It's not shocking to me. Some white people might be like,
That's who
"See, there you
reported it,
go.
yeah.
There's an
You know what?
example."
I guarantee
But-
that the black witness, his name was probably Stewart.
His name might be Stewart, but I mean, Stewart's fallen into the stereotype, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
stereotypes exist for a reason. If I saw a young black man with an older white woman in the car, I'm just going to be befuddled. I'm going to be like, what in the world's going on there? Like, the restaurant I work at, I'm just...
Wait, say
literally-
that again. Say that again, if you would.
What? But say
If you
what
saw,
again?
if you saw a young black man.
Would I be befuddled, bewildered? Like I would just kind of question the whole thing, like what's going on there? You know what I mean? Like
Why?
I've seen there was a, just because I'd wonder.
Okay.
I wouldn't wonder like in a bad way, like what the hell? You know, I'd just be
Mm-hmm.
like, I wonder what the deal is. There was a large table of white people that were eating. When I say white people, I mean like two just regular white people, and they had like
Versus
four black.
irregular white people.
Well, anyway,
Leave this fellow alone.
just
Let
two
him tell
average
his
everyday
goddamn
looking white
story.
people. But they had four black children, and two white children.
Oh,
And it was in a scenario where, like, you could tell it wasn't like a sports team or anything like that. It looked like they were a family. And I just kind of saw it, and I was just kind of like, well, I kind of wonder what the story is behind that. I didn't think, oh my God, like they must be like I've rescued them from the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of like intrigued by it more so than anything. Some people that fall into like, you know, this what we're exposed to every day, they're gonna look at that and be like, "Oh, they rescued those kids. What? How nice of them." Oh,
You
they're
know, the
such
way
good
I look at it
people."
is those kids rescued them.
The way I look at it is like I don't know what the scenario was. They might have been children of friends of them that passed away. You know, it may not have even been an adoption. But that's I look at it and I'm intrigued, like wondering what the story is, not assuming that I know what the
Are
story is.
you the kind of guy, and I do this, I'm going to go in and fess up. When I see anything, like I see somebody, I go in and start, like, I'll make like 3 or 4 stories up for them.
Yeah,
Like I'll
something
be like,
that.
oh my
Yeah.
God, all right, so he's kidnapping these people, and all of a sudden, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Well, I know, like.
Well, no,
like
not
doing
in
it
a bad way. I'm
jest,
just like,
yeah.
I just do that constantly. I'm
doing
like,
it jest. Well, I'm just like, as
Your
cynical as I-
storytelling?
yeah, I just do it in my mind. I'm just like making it up. I'm like, oh my God, she really hates this guy, but she's only with him because she lost all of her lotto money. You know what I mean? I'm like that.
I'm the type of person, like, when I look at people, as cynical as I am, and I found out the other week when we talked about the purge scenario that I'm the most cynical person in Louisville, apparently. But like when I see like a homeless person, like with a dog waiting on the side of the freeway, it's like I just wonder how they got there. I wonder, like, you know what I'm saying, does the dog get them through everyday life? You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just kind of intrigued about that
No,
person's
I think-
background.
yeah.
I don't look at them and think, oh, they, you know, were a meth addict and that's why they're there with that dog. You know, I'm not judgmental in that respect.
So it's the question, like that for me, it's like, do they love that dog, and is that dog like their buddy, and they want to fucking feed that dog, or are they using that dog to get money?
Yeah, well,
because I
that's
was
the
with
thing.
my, I was
Everyone
with,
has a story.
yeah.
yeah, I
You
was
never
with my
know.
daughter. I was with my daughter, and there was these fucking dregs, and they got like the dreads, white kids, dreads, and they're all black, and they're all looking miserable, and they got these fucking Aussie kind of dog hounds, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm like, she's like, we got to give him money, Dad. We got to give him money. And I'm like, I would love to fucking live like that, where I just sit around with my dog and people give me money. All right? You know, I would love that. I would love that. And she's like, no, we got to give him money for the dogs. And then we drive around a fucking block and we give them $5, right? We come back around so we can give them $5. And I'm like, do they have the dogs for the money, or is it vice versa? It just doesn't. I don't even understand.
You go the
I'm
alternate
so
route, like a lot of people do. Like friends of mine that have seen that scenario, they'll go get a bag of dog food and drop it off to the person. Now, if the person's like, "Thank you," you know that person's genuine. If the person's like rolls her eyes, like, "Oh, thanks," it's like, "Well, you obviously have that dog there as a patsy for you to get more, like, you know, panhandling."
But do you
and that in of itself makes that person a jackass.
Do you kind of hate yourself though, like I do, for being that jaded? Like, I just want to think, oh, that dog's a prop. You know?
No, because like the one thing, like when I do see a homeless person, there also is the fact of the matter is, if you're destitute like that, you fucked over at least 2 or 3 people to wind up like that. And I don't care like how underprivileged you've been or how you were raised. Everyone has like other people to kind of fall in with, you know what I'm saying, or someone that might help you out in some kind of way. And I'd say 99.99% of the time, if someone's in a situation like that destitute, somehow down the line there was one person who was like, hey, I'll give you a place to stay. They stole from that person's wallet or something. They had to kick him out. They had like a mother or father or like some kind of like relative that was like, hey, I'll give you a chance. All you have to do is get a job. They couldn't get a job after 2-3 months. They had to let them out. There were at least 2 or 3 people that they fucked over to get to that place. And if you're like hardcore enough panhandling, you can stand somewhere for hours upon hours to like get change, then you could have dedicated yourself to get a job at McDonald's. I know that sounds retarded, it's been said 1,000 times before, but at the same point, I can say personally, if my parents passed away and all my friends like somehow evaporated like the end of Infinity War, I would still, you know, have options.
Like what?
You'd still
The
have
end of
Stephen
Infinity
Clark.
War.
Is that a game?
No,
You still have Stephen Clark.
it's a movie that made like $1 billion worldwide.
What's this? What are we talking
The
about?
movie Infinity War, the Marvel movie that came out in
I'm not into
February.
big Marvel movies.
Infinity War? I don't watch movies.
And no Star Wars, no Marvel
I've never seen
movies.
Star Wars ever.
Kevin, you are the minority in this. This is a reference that people will understand.
It's because my lazy eyes. It's because I'm Asian. Just like,
Okay, so I'm either gonna need Pete to bring me a shot of tequila and a bucket so I can pee, or I'm gonna just have to leave you all alone to deal with this son of a bitch. I think you can handle
Me and
yourself.
Kevin roll solo all the time. Yeah.
It's
We'll
been
make it happen.
fabulous to meet you.
It's been nice to meet you as well.
And hey, man,
Stone Cold
you'll never be
Stephen Clark.
homeless as long as I have a car. Okay.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough.
I promise you that.
thank you, Steve.
So I'll just come back for my shit later.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck all y'all.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Mate.
Good talk.
Dude, nice to meet you. Yeah, whatever. I'll deal with you later.
Amazon hit the $1 trillion mark. They went from 600 billion in January to 1 trillion with the T. And
Yeah.
they get a lot of grief for the pay that they have for their people and all that stuff. But I mean, it's fucking insane. I mean,
that boycott that people talked about for Amazon Prime Day, that really worked out well, didn't it?
More I was going with too.
I'll be the first to say that Amazon's amazing. Amazon is freaking amazing.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, the Prime membership is the best $130. I know the price went up to $130, but it's the best $100 or so I've ever spent.
Well, I pay monthly, so I don't know what. Well, I can do the math, but yeah, monthly.
It's the game changer.
It is.
It's the game changer, and my life has been totally different. Speaking of which, Amazon, we love you here at Shooting from the Lip, and if you ever want to throw us any gift cards, we'll continue to promote your awesome company. Just awesome. wonderful, awesome company.
Again, Amazon Prime. I watch a lot of that too. So.
Yeah, Amazon Prime. Yes, just all around. You're great, Amazon. Nike and Amazon. Me and Kevin Hale are big fans.
Hell yeah! Check us out. California man who allegedly stuck dates with the Czech faces years in prison. What he would do, Stu?
What?
Check us out. This is I try to get the pop culture topics too.
Yes.
So this is one where this dude in California would using Bumble, the dating app Bumble.
You mentioned Bumble too. Okay.
I'm on
familiar
there.
with it now.
He would meet these ladies on Bumble, start a friendly conversation. He's charming and all these great things. They would meet out for dinner. Expensive. Order drinks and the most expensive item on this Houston menu. So it's obviously in Houston.
So these are like 4 and 5 star restaurants.
They would go to some marquee places, restaurants. He'd order up his meal, and he would have to say, here's this. He'd tell the date when he first sat down for dinner. He would have to make a phone call later to check on his aunt who was hospitalized.
Oh God!
After the meal, the guy made his call and disappeared, and this happened many times.
Oh, and they're actually. I mean, what are they charging him with? Is this like robbery? I guess or burglary?
Let me see how they actually. That's a good question. How they actually charged him.
Like it's just bad date practicing. Me, I'm always a gentleman on my dates. Like when I take her home, I make sure like she makes it inside the house before I park and masturbate. You know,
right, so
I'm a gentleman.
Get that out.
Yeah.
He is with petty theft for another alleged DYE and dash incident. So he's got bail and everything. I mean, bail set it for him.
Petty theft.
Yeah. $315,000 is his bail. So yeah.
Well, if he was like like doing it all the time,
yeah, it sounds like it was.
Well, one, it's kind of lame. I would think like you'd have a better technique than that. Oh, my sick aunt. Let me go like check on her again, and he just blank out of the restaurant. But at the same point, like that's just I don't know. I think that's kind of on like the woman. Because I'm the type of person, if a guy ordered like the most expensive thing on the menu, I'd kind of be watching him. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm the type of guy that I would probably get the 2 for $2. You know, sandwich and soup. You know, I'd stay conservative or very. We talked about the movie Predator not too long ago on one of the shows. It's due out next week.
Yeah.
Did you know they had to cut out a scene from the Predator because one of the guys that the director used, which was a friend of his, turned out to be a true predator.
Really?
Predator. Yeah.
Really?
So there was backlash because the one of the female star, got wind of it, brought it to the show's attention, and she's kind of catching some grief over it.
Like he was a convicted sex offender?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When you said a predator, I didn't know like if he was preying on like female cast members or maybe he like guys dressed up as predator, like in the makeup and stuff. He was just kind of like, getting up on them, which would be a really weird fetish. A predator fetish. Something about the fangs that just turns them on. I don't know what that is.
What's the mandible? No, that's not the mandible.
It's a very odd mandible.
Yeah.
Like a weird orifice to take on.
I know.
Yeah.
How would that be? Can you imagine that?
Oh, God. Just watch the fangs. Just watch the fangs.
Yeah. Not too deep.
Man, that's sick. Well, did they mention the sexual like offense that he had? Because sometimes people can like date like 16-year-old when they're 18 in high school, and the parents are just kind of vindictive, and then they get put on the sexual offenders like list. I'm not trying to make excuse for the guy if he's fucking people in predator suits, but you never know. It might have been something petty, or it could have been like Kevin Spacey style. So
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't readily see it. So, all right.
I guess we have to say allegedly with Kevin Spacey because he hasn't been convicted yet.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
But
alleged.
his career has taken a nose dive.
I think we both have the same sound effect on that. Poor
see.
Kevin. Usual suspects, man. Usual suspects.
We got a major, very dangerous hurricane heading towards the East Coast. That's supposed to hit Thursday.
Yeah. Our president was talking about that. I'm going to wait till we see exactly what happens and how he approaches it, because if he says 12 people died,
that'll be a topic for next week.
Yeah.
But but what I'm getting at too, he went on and used that conversation or the topic to brag about how well they've handled Puerto Rico, which
the number went from 16 to 3,000.
3,000 people.
Yeah, handled that beautifully. On a lighter note, I wanted to mention something. The whole Serena Williams controversy.
Let's end it here.
I talked to a friend of mine who was actually a part of the podcast a couple weeks ago, my friend Daryl.
Okay.
Him and his twin brother, huge tennis fans throughout their life.
Who is also Daryl?
Yeah. From talking to him and listening to analysts on ESPN talk about it, Serena Williams basically threw a temper tantrum, saying that she was called for her coach throwing signs.
Which the coach actually admitted after the fact.
Yes,
He did.
literally, while she was arguing with the rep, he was in a sideline interview, live, happening, and admitted he was throwing signs. For Serena Williams to bring up sexism is the biggest fucking crybaby bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Serena Williams, I love you. What you did is miraculous to have a baby less than a year ago and be doing great tournaments. But when you're getting your ass handed to you by an up-and-comer who's pretty awesome, who, when she was talking about facing you, said, wow, it's Serena. Like, she's still, starstruck. Like an admirer of yours. Don't get mad and start throwing a temper tantrum and then say it's sexist. It's because, you're just being sexist. For the women that do experience sexism, you cheapen their experience when you're just basically a crybaby.
In fairness to Serena, they went back and looked at stats from past tennis matches. I don't know if they were per se Grand Slams because like at the U.S. Open level, but there have been instances where Federer, some of the well-known major male tennis stars, have had run-ins with the umpire, and their fines and punishment didn't jive with Serena.
Well, okay. In the day and age of analytics and statistics, you can basically come up and put things certain ways to just say, oh, it's just Serena, or is it all women tennis players in general? And even if that is the case, and that might be a problem in tennis, let it be addressed when there's an actual example of it. For her to literally get crybaby style, it takes away from there actually being that sort of thing. And I forget the ex-female tennis star that spoke out on it, but basically she said, I'm paraphrasing, it's that you don't want to be bringing up an issue that's false. Bring it up when it's actually the issue, because she believed that it has been an issue in tennis since she was playing, but at the same point, this just makes Serena look bad. Right. And it just makes it look like a BS issue. But
in fairness to her, I think from this point on, it's going to get the Federers, those male guys they'll be under the spotlight from this point on. Possibly. The whole boy crying wolf kind of thing. Just being a black man. And not to make this a race issue by any means, but there are certain injustices that I've experienced in life. But when I see another black person just automatically pulling the black card on something because that's their go-to, it's like, man, you're making it harder for when there's actually an issue.
And to see Serena do this, and it just happens to be like sexism. It's like, Serena, you're doing the same thing that like I see in my everyday life. Don't just pull the sexist card.
Did she also
because-
bring her daughter into the conversation? Like,
Do what?
she brought her daughter into the conversation. I swear, or, I'm a mother, and I wouldn't love,
It was like literally. I'm not
Yeah.
just calling her out for a woman saying crybaby. It was crybaby.
Right.
And Serena, yeah, I love you, Def. Like I said, I respect your game, but you're getting up in years when you're getting your ass handed to you. And you just decide to blow up. Like you got to let that go. You're not John McEnroe. This isn't like 1986. Right.
Do you got any comedy stuff coming up?
In actuality, I've been talking to a couple people down at our local caravan, formerly the Comedy Caravan. They have a couple events to go on Tuesday nights, and Wednesday night they have an open mic. So I'm looking into making some connections back in and around there, kind of getting my feet wet to do more shows that are Louisville orientated. I had this show in J-Town about 3 weeks ago, and that went really well. But it happened to be kind of like a national act coming to visit.
Right.
I'd like to get back with like some of the comics I know here in Louisville to kind of get back on the road of helping Louisville have some more popularity in a scene that at one point was dying, but at this point is starting to thrive again.
Gotcha.
My first time on here, like I kind of sounded downtrodden when it came to like Louisville comedy, but in the past, like I'd say month and a half, it's like I found that it's still around. It's still got its heart here. It's not what it once was, but it can be, and I'm confident in that.
Ending this segment, I have to give a shout out to my Kentucky Wildcat, the football team. Saturday, they ended the 31-year losing streak to Florida.
Big one.
Nobody beats our Cats 32 times in a row.
Can I give a shout out to my dog, Solaris? Great movie, awesome dog. It was her birthday today. Just so happens to fall on 9/11.
How old?
She's 3.
So 21. What?
A whopping 10.7 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a monster.
Yeah, I'm with you there because I've got a 11-year-old badass 6-pound Yorkie. So,
All right.
Yeah. So all good.
You can put him in a cage match one day.
Exactly. Or he has a. Is it a she? Yours?
What?
Is it a she? Yours?
No, she's
Your dog. Is it a boy or girl?
Is it a what?
Boy or girl?
Girl. Sorry, man. There's some Kevin Cummings.
So my dog hasn't. No, he's been fixed, but he still likes to drown. So
she's a little Italian Greyhound mini pin. She's fast, man.
all right,
And she'll give him a run for his money.
all right, all right. For Stewart Askew, Kevin Cummings, Steven Clark sat in from the Ass Hollers. This has been the trending news topic. Everyone have a good night. Peace out.